when Malik Tillman scored on a free kick in the 31st minute. But 61 seconds later, Belgium reclaimed the lead when Charles de Ketelaar scored his second goal in just the 33rd minute. After halftime, Belgium made it 3-1 in the 57th minute before one more scored during stoppage time.
Fox's Jared Max. The loss in Seattle means every host team, including Canada and Mexico, are now out. President Trump is in Turkey, just arriving for a two-day NATO summit, again accusing allies of not pulling their weight.
From defense spending to Greenland to not joining the war on Iran, the last year has seen plenty of sources of dispute between President Trump and the NATO alliance.
I just want loyalty. We're so loyal to them.
Speaking last month in the Oval Office, NATO allies are promising to take on more of the burden of defending Europe. Secretary General Mark Rutte promises that is happening.
We are stronger together in NATO with partners to ensure the freedom and security we all hold dear.
In Ankara, Turkey, Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Maine Democrat Senate candidate Graham Plattner says he is postponing campaign events indefinitely and considering his political future, accused of raping a woman in 2021.
41-year-old Maine resident Jenny Rassicott told Politico that 5 years ago, a drunken Plattner entered her home uninvited, then forced her to have sex against her will, a claim that Plattner denies. And the political fallout is ongoing. Allies like Representative Ro Khanna and Senator Ruben Gallego have withdrawn their support, and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer joined a growing chorus of Democrats calling for Plattner to drop out of the race.
Fox's Max Gordon. Plattner has until next Monday to withdraw and be replaced on the ballot by a candidate chosen by the Maine State Democratic Party. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. We're heading for a high of 90. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 6:08. 66 in Neosho, 68 in Pittsburgh, 68 in Galena, 68 in Joplin. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk KZRG. An extra $15 per month out of your account.
Now, Missouri American Water officially asking the state's Public Service Commission for a rate hike that could go into effect next June. The company says their plan is going to modernize aging water and wastewater systems and total about $1.6 billion. Now, in Joplin, it would fund a new carbon feed system, well site treatment upgrades, and filter backwash improvements so that it can maintain consistent water quality and reliable service. Now, again, this still has to be approved by the Missouri PSC, and you will have a chance to give them your thoughts on that proposal. I'm Cy Albright for News Talk KZRG.
The Joplin City Council wants more time before putting new rules on future data centers. The members unanimously voted to send a proposed data center ordinance back to the Planning and Zoning Commission for more work. City staff want to strengthen the proposal after getting public feedback and recommendations from a recent statewide workshop. The ordinance would require special use permits for data centers and include standards for noise, lighting, water use, air quality, and sustainability. The revised ordinance is expected to return to the council in August.
The state budget the Missouri governor signed included almost $500 million in cuts and freezes. Governor Mike Kehoe says the lawmakers were planning to spend more money than projected revenue would cover. State Senator Rusty Black agrees and says things have changed since the state had federal funding to work with after COVID.
Making sure that we saved as much money as we could as the federal government supplied stimulus dollars in many different ways. And the state did partner with several entities throughout the state of Missouri to benefit citizens, benefit projects, upgrade things, and those days are probably over, or at least over for a while.
If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310, 68-604, going on 605, News Talk, KZRG.
More Joplin construction. Say goodbye to Davis Boulevard as you know it. Work will begin next Monday to move the roadway and connect it with Stevens Boulevard on 32nd Street next to General Mills. This is to make room for a future project to build a bridge over the railroad nearby. The $2.9 million project will also add new traffic signals and a westbound right turn lane at Stevens Boulevard. All the details inside the KZRG app.
The Missouri Film Office says it's been another big year for movie making. Sue Danielson reports it could mean unusual opportunities for locals.
Film Office Director Andrea Sporsic-Klund says last year casting directors hired more than 2,000 Missourians to be extras or work with the crew. She says more commonly they will hire production assistants to help behind the scenes.
The cool thing is that you're in the middle of the action and you really get to see it all happening.
Missouri continues to be in a movie-making boom. The state's film production tax credit generated nearly $41 million of in-state film production spending last year. Sue Danielson, Missouri Net.
Well, the Royals did something weird again last night.
The Kansas City Royals absolutely demolished Philadelphia last night in a 15-1 blowout. Salvador Perez, Luke Maile, Lane Thomas, and Tyler Tolbert all went yard, tagging Phillies ace Christopher Sanchez for a career-worst 9 earned runs. The Royals look to keep those bats hot tonight as they welcome the Mets to town. First pitch is locked in for 6:10. Meanwhile, late inning collapse for the St. Louis Cardinals. Up by 3 in the 7th, the Redbirds let it slip away as David Hamilton, Bryce Terang sparked a 4-run rally to lift the Brewers to a 4-3 win. The lone bright spot for the Cards was a sweet hit by Valaquez.
Rips someone down the left field line, and it's a fair ball going to the corner.
They've got a quick turnaround to shake this one off. Game 2 with Milwaukee gets underway early today. First pitch is at 1:15. You can hear it all on AM 1230 The Talker. And in World Cup news, the men's national team is out of the World Cup. They lost with a 4-1 loss to Belgium. The U.S. men's national team is out of the World Cup. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape for professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin. Choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. That's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news is service of Liberty Tree Guns. Could you use some extra cash? Liberty Tree Guns, buying guns and gun collections and paying top dollar. Get a cash offer on your guns today at libertytreeguns.com. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news at 6:30, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here is your KZRG forecast. Hot and humid weather continues this morning. Maybe some patchy fog this afternoon. Some with a few clouds. 90, you'll feel like the mid-90s. Tonight, clear upper 60s. Sunny and hot, low 90s. Tomorrow, heat index, upper 90s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is a service of Indigo Sky Casino. The area's premier gaming destination is always a good time with delicious chef-created entrees, excellent adult beverages, and fantastic entertainment, too. Visit IndigoSkyCasino.com for details.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 66 in Neosho, 68 in Pittsburgh, 68 in Baxter Springs, 68 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 6:08.
Hinkle's Ace Hardware, they got what you need there.
Hey guys, it's John here from Hinkle's Ace Hardware. You know, Steel is a family-owned company, and they do things a little differently. You won't find their tools sitting on a shelf at the giant big boxes. They only partner with locally owned stores like ours because they know you deserve real service. Our most popular battery tools right now are the HSA 26 with 2 attachments for grass trimming or touching up hedges, and the GTA 26 handheld pruning saw with a 4-inch bar perfect for pruning. We've also got you covered with all the heavy-duty steel gas gear, from professional-grade chainsaws and string trimmers to rugged pressure washers. But we don't just sell you a machine and wave goodbye. We actually have an on-site gold-certified mechanic right here to service your gear for years to come. That's the local service you expect and the quality you deserve. Swing by and see us today at Hinkle's Ace Hardware in Webb City or Joplin. Let's get your weekend project sorted out.
Neighbors helping neighbors, Hinkle's Ace Hardware store.
Goldilocks needed a dumpster. The first one she rented was too small.
My garage stuff won't fit.
The second dumpster was too big.
I don't own that much junk.
Then she found the yellow box from Big John's roll-off service.
This dumpster is just right.
Big John's.
Hey, I'm the Big John from Big John's Roll-Off Service.
And I'm the wife, Claire.
And our yellow box special gives you 15 to 20 yards of space and is the same footprint as a smaller box, but taller, so you can fit more.
It's perfect for garage cleanouts, home projects and remodels, moving, downsizing, or finally tackling that backyard pile you've been ignoring.
For just $400, you get 7 days of rental and the first 2,000 pounds of debris.
But we've only got 3 yellow boxes, so once they're booked, they're booked.
Reserve yours today at BigJohnsRolloff.com.
When you've got big waste, you need Big John's.
Big on service, Big on savings. Big John's.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well,
Good morning, everybody. Sarisa, good morning to you. Hopefully everyone is doing swimmingly. I hope that what is it? Call me David Schwimmer. I'm doing so swimmingly. How's that for one? Fun fact, did you know that David Schwimmer of Friends, a.k.a. Ross from Friends, was the studio's first choice for Men in Black? Will Smith's character was supposed to be played by David Schwimmer. He was offered it, and he had said no. He had respectfully declined the offer because at the same time he was directing his own movie, and he wanted to do that instead. And even more fun fact, that movie that he directed, no one remembers, but everyone remembers Men in Black, so that's a tough one.
RG from Studio 1Z with the latest news, commentary, and weather. It's the KZRG Morning Newswatch on News Talk KZRG.
6:10 is the KZRG News Time. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310 News Talk KZRG. Beautiful day in the 4 states. Do you know why, Steve?
Well, because the sun is coming up like it always does about this time every day, and it's really nice. It looks really pretty. In fact, I don't see a cloud in the sky, at least from the camera, from the eye in the sky.
Well, there's all that, and also the fact that it's not even 70 yet, and we're past 6 a.m. Last week at this time, we were well within the 70s, so it's a little bit cooler.
Wait till Thursday.
Oh, God.
Today, it's going to be patchy fog early, then becoming totally sunny with a high of around 90. 69, mostly clear tonight. A high of 93 tomorrow, sunny and hot. Thursday, sunny and hot. Actual temperature high 97. 93 with sunshine and hot on Friday. That's all according to KZRG staff meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Yeah, 3-day Ray does not mess around, and he's going to be joining us at 7:25 this morning on FM 102.9, 105.9 AM 1310 for an in-depth look at what's going on with your weekday weather. All right, let's get into some national news here. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson. Seattle, Washington is a relatively blue state. Washington is a relatively blue state, and Seattle, a very, very blue city. Deep, 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 deep blue.
Very deep.
Katie Wilson, she is pretty far left. She is pretty much as far left as the Democrat Party will allow people to be at this time. Now, people like Zoran Mandami, people like Bernie Sanders, like AOC, they are working tirelessly to stretch that envelope even further. But as of now, Katie Wilson is pretty much as far within the leftosphere as you can currently get and still be within the Overton window. And now, Katie is getting some heat.
What?
She's getting some heat.
Is it cold or something? She needs the heat?
Well, she needs the heat because somebody's got to give this lady a wake-up call. She is getting heat from her own citizens who are fed up with the way that she is running her city.
All right.
Yeah. There were protests ahead of some World Cup matches. Now, Seattle is one of the cities that has been hosting a pretty big World Cup playoff dealio Monchilios. And apparently, members of the local Vietnamese community and the local Chinese community in Chinatown and Little Saigon, I guess they call it over there.
Mm-hmm.
These communities are so fraught with crime and are now so destitute because she as a mayor has pretty much,
defund the police,
exactly.
Get rid of all the prisons, let everybody out.
Allow open-air drug markets.
Sure, why not?
And all of that has been, for whatever reason, centralized around Little China and Little Vietnam in Seattle. And the residents of those communities are saying, did you forget about us? Hey, we're here too, man. Completely ignoring them. One organizer for this anti-Katie Wilson protest said that the Chinatown International District, or Chinatown as they call it, in Seattle, they said Chinatown is now nothing more than a human dumping ground for homeless and drug addicts.
Wonderful. Just what they needed.
Yeah. And one of the really frustrating things for these local business owners and people that live in Chinatown, that live in the Vietnamese communities in the city, they said that with the World Cup in town, there are all sorts of fantastic, amazing economic opportunities, but not for their parts of the city because people are too afraid to go to their parts of the city because of all the open-air drug markets, all the crime, all the homeless. So all of these world travelers, they are shopping up a storm at Nordstrom and Target and all these big box stores.
You mean Target.
Target?
Target.
Yes, Target. Excuse me. Excuse him, Walt, Mr. Stevenson. Yes. So, KZRG News Time, 6:15. And so they're all getting a great deal with all this economic boom, but Chinatown and Little Vietnam, no, they're not getting anything because their part of the city is so destitute because of all this crime that the blue mayor, this is a far left Democrat mayor, and all she talks about is justice for people of color, and we need to represent the marginalized community. Well, here are two marginalized community in her city that she has direct control over, and she's turned them into human dumping grounds because of defund the police. And hey, man, drug addicts are nothing more than endangered species, man. We got to protect the drug addicts, man.
Ooh. That's weird.
It is weird. It's totally weird. And so business owners in Chinatown and Little Saigon and in Vietnamese, Little Vietnam, they are angered, absolutely angered by
and
this.
They should be because look how much more money they could be making with all the people there for the FIFA game.
Right. So, again, it kind of goes back to this idea, these governing principles that the far left have of just, I guess, chaos. Just let drug addicts be drug addicts, let criminals be criminals, defund the police, abolish all prisons. What does that do? Well, it makes it worse for impoverished areas. It makes it worse for areas that have minorities located in them, that type of thing, which goes completely against everything the far left claims they are for, which is pretty ironic in my mind.
Well, no, they've been doing that for many years, saying something one way and then their actions say the other.
Oh, all right. Well, I can't argue with that.
That's true.
I can't argue with that, nor will I. KZRG News Time 6:17. But what are your thoughts on all this? We want to know. Leave us an open mic message or text us at 417-782-1310. Hey, by the way, don't forget it's 7:10 this morning. We're going to be joined by Aaron Hedlund. Aaron Hedlund, interesting fellow. He is a research fellow at the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank. And we're going to be talking to him about Missouri's Amendment 5, which would, in theory, if voted in, repeal the state income tax, the individual state income tax for the state of Missouri, and replace it with a series of sales taxes.
What sales taxes will be replaced?
Oh, I'm so glad, Steve. Here's my list. They don't know yet.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
so we're
the
voting
kicker.
on something that we don't know.
We don't know what it is.
We got to pass it before we can see what it's going to be doing.
Literally, yes.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to be asking him about all this. If you have any questions for him, feel free to text us at 417-782-1310. That's coming up at 7:10 this morning. At 8:10 this morning, we're going to be joined by Sean Conroy. He is with the Spiva Center for the Arts here in Joplin. We're going to be talking to him because they have some pretty major art exhibits in town right now. It's pretty darn cool. We'll be getting the 411 on that at 8:10. If you have questions for him, let us know at 417-782-1310. Moving on from there, another story we had for you this morning. We'll get more into the details as we get further into the depths, the bowels of Tuesday morning.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Does it?
Getting into the bowels.
Nope. Doesn't sound fun at all, Steve.
Okay.
Well, 4th of July came and went, the 4th of July weekend. And the question, of course, is how did Missouri do in terms of danger?
How did we do?
Not too bad. Actually, not too bad. According to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, there were 9 deaths over the 4th of July weekend on Missouri roadways.
Wow.
Which is still 9 too many.
That is
anecdotally,
correct.
In previous years, we were well within double digits for this weekend in previous years. So 9 is an upgrade, I suppose. There were 113 injuries on Missouri roadways the 4th of July weekend, and 235 traffic crashes on Missouri roadways.
How we do on the boating?
I'm glad you asked, Steve. We have that answer for you at 6:40 this morning.
Okay.
On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time 620.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
President Trump arrived at a NATO summit with a bone to pick. The president is expected to talk with our European allies about pulling their weight with the Iran situation. Will our allies answer the call of duty? News Talk KZRG will keep you up to date.
Number 2.
Joplin City Council voted to delay action on a proposed ordinance regulating future data centers. The regulation would require data centers to obtain a special use permit. The reasoning for delay is they felt more public feedback could further strengthen the proposal.
Number 1.
Missouri American Water is seeking a rate increase tied to a $1.6 billion system overhaul. That means your average house will see an extra $15 added to their monthly bill. What will they use the money for? Replacing aging pipes, upgrading treatment facilities, and modernizing equipment.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on Missouri's Amendment 5, which would phase out the state income tax and replace it with higher sales taxes? We want to know. Leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app or text us at 417-782-1310. What are your thoughts on this Amendment 5 business? Coming up, what's going on with your money on News Talk KZRG?
Here's your KZRG forecast. The ridge building west, and that's going to keep us, I'd say, hot and dry. If anything, we'll get a little bit hotter midweek. We'll go from about 90 degrees today after some patchy fog. This morning we'll have sunshine around. Heat index mid-90s. Here's 70 tonight to the low 90s tomorrow.
Good morning, everybody. In the very wise words of a one Mr. Joe Morgan, I'm very caffeinated today. Mary, good morning, Mary. Austin! Oh, Austin, I'm sorry to hear that, man. What's is everything okay, dude? Absolutely, man. I hope everything's all right. Mary said, won't that jack up the price on goods if they do that? Are you talking about Amendment 5? Yeah, I mean, in theory, yes, there would be more sales tax. I mean, yeah, definitionally, you would have to pay more taxes for certain goods. Hey, Doc, good morning. Yeah, absolutely, Austin. Anytime anyone needs anything like that, let us know. I mean, for what we can do, we will. If you're not feeling well, if you had a bad day, absolutely, we will send prayers your way, no question. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. And I say this with all sincerity. You might not want my prayers specifically. I think God is mad at me right now for all the hijinks and mischief I get up to. I think that God has designated me to be nothing more than the devil on people's shoulders. So I don't know if I don't know if my prayers will actually end up working against you, Austin. But for what it's worth, you have them, my friend. No question about it. But I've always been, it's funny. So when I was a kid, one of my closest friends, actually, it's not the Joe Morgan of KZRG, but one of my good friends growing up as a kid, his name was Joe. And my mother always loved that I hung out with Joe because Joe was very studious. He was very smart. He was very school and grade oriented. He was a very good influence. Big fan of the rules, this guy was. And so she liked that I hung out with him because she was always hoping that all my mischief and all my waywardness would be canceled out by his goodness. And so she always loved us hanging out. Come to find out years later, it was revealed to me by Joe's mother. Joe's mother told me one time that she liked it when he hung out with me because she thought that her son was too much of a rule follower. He was too good. He was too much of a goody two-shoes. So she was hoping that my mischievousness would rub off a little bit on him and that he would act more like a kid his age as opposed to like a grown adult at age, 12 and 13. And so we were the bestest of buds. We were a friendship made in heaven. He was the angel on everyone's shoulder and I was the little devil. It worked out great.
Friend, a family member, or someone you know and rely on, having the ability to choose your caregiver can make all the difference. Because the freedom to choose who helps you is just as important as the help itself.
I'm Toby Davis with the Independent Living Center. Our mission is to help individuals with disabilities maintain their independence while staying in the comfort of their own homes. It's our core philosophy that every person should have the right to make their own decisions and take charge of their own care. To learn more about the many services we provide, such as our in-home programs and peer support opportunities, visit us at ilcenter.org.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Google said it has backed Germany-based Proxima Fusion, which is looking to build Europe's first commercial fusion power plant in a $468 million funding round. The company aims to have a fusion demonstrator running in the early 2030s. Microsoft said it is laying off 4,800 employees immediately after carrying out a voluntary retirement program. The company's Xbox video game unit is cutting 1/5 of its staff, and 4 studios will go independent. Microsoft stock is down 19% this year, trailing its mega-cap peers. Alibaba said it will ban employees from using Anthropic's artificial intelligence tools starting on Friday. The Chinese company put Anthropic's Claude Code on a high-risk software list. Anthropic's terms of service do not allow Chinese companies and other adversarial nations to use its models. Futures are mixed as global chip stocks sell off. Dow futures up by more than 100 points. NASDAQ futures down by more than 200 points. That's Your Money Now.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
The board recommends approving
regarding that seat on the committee, we're promoting
to boost quarterly earnings.
Every day, shareholders meet to discuss important matters about the companies you invest in. Now you can easily make your voice heard. Vanguard Investor Choice gives you a say in the companies you invest in. With just a few taps, you can set your proxy voting preference for your index funds. Visit Vanguard.com/investorchoice to learn more. Vanguard investors own shares of our index funds, which own shares of the companies they invest in. Available for Vanguard index funds that participate in Investor Choice. Vanguard Marketing Corporation distributor.
They call it controversy. I call it honesty. Hi, this is Vince Colonnese. Join me tonight at 8, right after Mark Levin on News Talk KZRG.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Well, looks like the warmer weather is kind of trying to sneak back in. Patchy fog early this morning in parts of the area. Then sunny with a high of around 90. Tomorrow, sunny and hot, 93. Sunny and 97 and hot on Thursday. 93 with sunshine on Friday. So it looks like the warm temperatures are getting back, according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. And we're going to be talking to him at 7:25 this morning.
Yes, we are. Some other people we'll be talking to this morning at 7:10. Aaron Hedlund, he's a research fellow at the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank. We'll be talking to him about Missouri's Amendment 5, which could repeal the individual state income tax and replace it with a series of sales taxes. What sales taxes would it be replaced by?
What?
We don't know yet. In fact, the state of Missouri doesn't know yet. What this would do if you vote on it is it happens, and then they decide on what things get taxed extra and by how much.
Boy, that makes me want to vote yes.
To find out, you got to vote it in to find out what's in it.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess so. So we're going to be asking him a bunch of questions about this at 7:10 this morning. If you have questions, feel free to text us at 417-782-1310. Then at 8:10, we'll be joined by Sean Conroy. He's the exhibits director for the Spiva Center for the Arts. They have a bunch of really neat things going on at the Spiva Center right now. They have 3 pretty major, really cool exhibits happening simultaneously. So we'll be getting the 411 from him on that at 8:10. Same deal with Sean. If you have questions for him, text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up after the news in less than 10 minutes at around 6:40. The numbers are in. How did Missourians do on the 4th of July weekend in terms of DWIs, boating or BWIs.
Yeah, BWI, DWIs, and whatever kind of eyes you want.
All the eyes you can imagine. How safe
all the
were
eyes
we?
are going to be looking at these numbers.
How safe were we? We'll be giving you those numbers coming up in less than 10 minutes on News Talk KZRG. Good morning.
At 6:30, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Pahorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
NATO talks drone defense.
Kirk death trial, day one recap.
Britzer now fighting rape allegations.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. We're heading for a high of 90. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 6:38. Sun is shining. It's looking good in the neighborhood. 66 in Neosho, 68 in Pittsburgh, 68 in Carl Junction, 68 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. And on your smart speaker, News Talk, KZRG.
NATO's to spend billions protecting members from drone attacks. One of several big announcements as leaders gather in Turkey.
$40 billion will be invested in anti-drone technology. NATO will buy surveillance drones of its own and 10 new spy planes.
And that's how we make our alliance more powerful. It's how we defend our 1 billion people and every inch of our territory.
Secretary General Mark Rutte hosting a summit aimed at ensuring allies spend more on defence while the US pulls back from Europe. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky knows all about drone warfare. He's here to ask for help defending his skies in the face of a renewed and deadly Russian aerial campaign. In Ankara, Turkey, Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
It's day two of the preliminary hearing for the alleged assassin of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. With the story, Chanley Painter.
The group of family and supporters, including Donald Trump Jr., took up the first two rows of the gallery. Also in court, the parents of Tyler Robinson, who sat with some relatives. And as court began, Erica appeared very emotional, at times wiping tears with a handkerchief, at one point laying her head on Charlie's mother's shoulder. The first witness, Chris Bagley, was on duty at Utah Valley University that day. And as he began to describe hearing the gunshot and seeing Charlie fall, Erica Kirk immediately stood up, and several others followed her out of the courtroom. Bagley then went on to testify about racing to that gravel roof where prosecutors believe Robinson fired that fatal shot.
Maine Senate Democratic candidate Graham Plattner is being accused of new allegations.
A woman claiming Plattner sexually assaulted her nearly 5 years ago despite her repeated objections. Now, Plattner and his accuser reportedly had something of an on and off relationship. She says he entered her Maine home uninvited late one night while intoxicated and forced himself on her. A number of Democratic lawmakers and groups, including some who originally supported Plattner, are now calling on him to drop out of the race. And this includes Senators Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand, the Senate Majority PAC, and Governors Tim Walz and J.B. Pritzker.
That was Doug Luzader. Sunshine 68. It's now 6:33. News Talk, KZRG.
An extra $15 per month out of your account.
Now, Missouri American Water officially asking the state's Public Service Commission for a rate hike that could go into effect next June. The company says their plan is going to modernize aging water and wastewater systems and total about $1.6 billion. Now, in Joplin, it would fund a new carbon feed system, well site treatment upgrades, and filter backwash improvements so that it can maintain consistent water quality and reliable service. Now, again, this still has to be approved by the Missouri PSC, and you will have a chance to give them your thoughts on that proposal. I'm Ty Albright for News Talk KZRG.
Help is on the way from the federal government. President Trump did end up approving a federal disaster declaration for Cherokee County, Kansas, from the storms that we saw on the night of Sunday, April the 26th. That was the EF1 tornado that touched down west of Columbus along Highway 160, and the storms that brought torrential rainfall to that part of the country, or county. This allows state and local levels of government to apply for public assistance funds for cost of damage repair. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. 68 with sunshine. It's now going on 6:35. News Talk KZRG.
President Donald Trump won't sign a bipartisan bill aimed at making housing more affordable. Missouri U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt was one of the 85 senators who voted for the bill.
I think one of the provisions in there that I was very supportive of was to make sure these hedge funds and private equity guys stop buying up single-family homes.
However, if the president takes no action, the legislation will automatically become law without his signature on Friday.
After a huge album release in January, country singer Zach Bryan has more music on the way.
If you could just go back. Zach Bryan shared a teaser of an unreleased song called Lodi Wen, a nod to the small city in Northern California. The tease, which dropped on YouTube Friday, also revealed he has a new EP on the way. Bryan posted the news underneath the video, noting the song is off the new EP, Young Manhood and Other Donatable Organs. Earlier this year, Bryan dropped his long-awaited 6th studio album with Heaven on Top, along with a full-length acoustic version of the record. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Zach Bryan's home area is northeast Oklahoma, Rogers County. Well, the Royals did it again last night in big-time fashion, according to Joe Morgan.
The Kansas City Royals absolutely demolished Philadelphia last night in a 15-1 blowout. Salvador Perez, Luke Maile, Lane Thomas, and Tyler Tolbert all went yard, tagging Phillies ace Christopher Sanchez for a career-worst 9 earned runs. The Royals look to keep those bats hot tonight as they welcome the Mets to town. First pitch is locked in for 6:10. Meanwhile, a late inning collapse for the Cardinals, up by 3 in the 7th. The Redbirds let it slip away as David Hamilton and Bryce Turang sparked a 4-run rally to lift the Brewers to a 4-3 win. The lone bright spot for St. Louis was a sweet hit by Valquez.
One strike on Velasquez. He has an RBI tonight, and he rips someone down the left field line, and it's a fair ball going to the corner.
But they got a quick turnaround to shake this one off. Game 2 with Milwaukee gets underway early today. First pitch is at 1:15. And that will do it for the men's national team. They fell to Belgium in the World Cup 4-1. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news, the service of Liberty Tree Guns. Could you use some extra cash? Liberty Tree Guns, buying guns and gun collections and paying top dollar. Get a cash offer on your guns today at libertytreeguns.com. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 7 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The ridge building west, and that's going to keep us, I'd say, hot and dry. If anything, we'll get a little bit hotter midweek. We'll go from about 90 degrees today after some patchy fog. This morning we'll have sunshine around. Heat index mid-90s. Near 70 tonight to the low 90s tomorrow with sunshine around with a heat index in the upper 90s. And then by Thursday we could push to mid-90s with sunshine and a heat index close to 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
No rain showing up this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. Sunshine 66 in Neosho, 68 in Pittsburgh, 68 in Webb City, 68 in Joplin. News Talk, KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 6:38.
Dr. Collins and Associates are Missouri licensed general dentists. They are not licensed in Missouri as specialists in the advertised dental specialty of prosthodontics.
Your smile tells your story. It shows your confidence, joy, and resilience, and it deserves care from a team that understands just how important it is. With 47 years of experience, Mid-America Dental and Hearing Center knows that great dentistry isn't just about procedures. It's about trust, comfort, and results you can be proud of. And they believe high-quality care should never come at a price tag that keeps you away. If you've been waiting for the right time, the right team, or the right place, this is it. Your smile matters. Let's take care of it.
I'm Brian George, CEO of Mid-America Dental and Hearing Center, just off of I-44, Exit 44, and at midamericadental.com. Changing lives and making smiles at dental centers.
Our best for less in a day at Dental Center.
Progressive presents Heroes That Keep Truckers Going. Today's hero, all the furry four-legged co-pilots out there. Pets like Axel, Bandit, and Smokey, who may not understand humans but do listen to you rant about young people today for hours. Thanks, heroes. Know what else keeps safe truckers going? Saving an average of $6,181 when they elect to share their ELD data with us. Get a quote at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. 2025 National Average Safe Driver Enrollment Discount Savings for new Progressive customers. Excludes mandatory program participants. Not available in all states. Driving data could increase or decrease premiums at renewal.
Of all the wireless companies in America, only one has 5 stars in every category from Consumer Reports, and that company is Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. Plus, no service contracts and no cancellation fees. Just phenomenal U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
You've seen the ads. Build your own website in 5 minutes. Plug in this app and that widget and watch customers magically appear.
Yeah, I tried that. And now I've got a website that looks like everyone else's, and nobody in town can even find it.
At Zimmer Marketing, we're your neighbors. We live here. We shop here. We know the 4 states and the people you're trying to reach.
So when Zimmer built my site, they didn't just have some template I had to fill in. They actually asked about my business, my customers, my goals, and then they built a website that
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
A salesperson working for you 24/7. So should your website be built by a generic robot somewhere far away, or custom built by a local pro that understands the market?
Austin said, God never wants you to stay in the same place, so maybe the prayers actually will help you as well. Oh, yeah, I love that sentiment, Austin. Toby, good morning to you, Toby. Bill is here. And I doubt God is mad at you. Well, you might be surprised. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think God's actually mad at me.
Me and Buck Sexton weekdays from 11 till 2 right here on News Talk KZRG. You can depend on it.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Current KZRG news time, 6:41. It's 68 in Joplin, 68 in Pittsburgh, 70 in Miami, 68 in Neosho. It's going to be warm today because it is, in fact, summer, but not too crazy, right, Steve?
That's right, and you hit it right on the head. Warm. 90 is the temperature expected for a high today. They consider that to be warm. Now, tomorrow, sunny and hot with a high of 93, so 3 degrees up more, and it makes it hot instead of warm. Keep that in mind. Now on Thursday, high of 97 with sunshine and hot. Friday, sunshine, 93 again with hot temperatures. Looks like it's going to be a hot week again, but we do have a chance of some rain showers possibly coming up Friday night into Saturday and Saturday night. So we'll keep an eye on that, and not expecting anything severe at this time, but we'll keep an eye on it and make sure. We'll be talking to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic at 7:25.
Yes, we will. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Well, 4th of July came and went, and the question, of course, is how did Missouri do in terms of accidents? Well, according to the Missouri State Highway Patrol, 9 traffic fatalities were recorded during the 4th of July weekend. Now, the counting period that the Missouri State Highway Patrol does to officially designate the 4th of July weekend starts not on July 4th, but actually at 6 p.m. on Thursday, July 2nd. So they start there, and the counting period goes through till 11:59 on Sunday, July 5th. So it's that is the technical weekend that they're doing. And within those handfuls of days, there were 9 confirmed deaths on Missouri roadways, according to the Missouri State Highway Patrol. That's not good.
No, it's not.
Now, again, anecdotally, in the past, there has been years where that number was double digits. So 9 is better than it could be, but it's still 9 too many. No question about it.
I would agree.
Yeah. So 9 deaths. Now, how many injuries were there? Well, on Missouri roadways during the holiday weekend, 113 injuries were reported within 235 traffic crashes.
How many DWIs were there? Any
Glad you
idea?
asked, Steve. A whole heck of a lot. 125 of them on Missouri roadways.
That's a bunch.
That is a lot. Now, we had spoken with Missouri State Highway Trooper Corporal Sam Carpenter, and we asked him, hey, what is the financial burden of a DWI? And the reason we ask that is because a lot of the times we always say, just pay for an Uber, pay for a taxi.
It's cheaper.
And people say, well, I don't have $40 to flush down the drain. Ubers and taxis are expensive. So we said, okay, how much money is an Uber or a taxi compared to a DWI? And Corporal Sam Carpenter told us here on KZRG, your average DWI from start to finish, between court fees and lawyerings and fines and all that, from start to finish.
And insurance increases.
All that can run you $10,000 in the year 2026.
Jeez.
So for those 125 people that got caught with DWIs over the holiday weekend, I'm sure they wish right now they had just paid the $40 for an Uber.
Yeah, really.
Instead of the $10,000 in bills that are going to accumulate over the next couple of years for them.
Now, not only does the Missouri State Highway Patrol have reign over the highway system, but they also do the boating system as well. There were 3 crashes reported during the time frame. 3 injuries were reported. But here's the good news. No fatalities.
No fatalities. That's
on
good.
the crashes. Unfortunately, 3 people lost their lives by drowning. There were also 9 boating while intoxicated summons that were issued.
Yeah, which is functionally the exact same thing. A lot of people, for some reason, they think when they're on the water, the rules don't apply to them. But guess what? A car and a boat, both of which are heavy machinery with people in them moving at speed. It's the same thing. So you can't be drunk while driving them. So those are the numbers for you. You can get some more details at newstalkkzrg.com by clicking on this story. KZRG News Time 645. Another big story we had for you this morning, and it is Steve's favorite. I know. Go ahead. Yep. All right. There it is. Steve likes when the car goes honk, honk. Well, road work. Even more road work than the road work that we talked about yesterday.
Even more?
Even more.
Boy, those orange cones are just popping up all over everywhere.
Orange cone season, baby. A project to relocate Davis Boulevard at 32nd Street in Joplin is scheduled to begin next week. Now, this is kind of goofy. They're gonna pick up the road, and they're gonna move it somewhere else.
Not really. They're just going to build a new entrance of Davis Boulevard onto 32nd Street, and there's a big reason.
Why is that?
They're going to build a bridge to go over the railroad tracks so that the railroad tracks will no longer cause traffic delays on 32nd Street.
Yeah, which I think is great.
I think it is, too.
I think it's about time. Yeah, so that new bridge going over the Canadian Pacific Kansas City Railroad should definitely alleviate some of that traffic congestion there. And we've all seen it if you drive through Joplin. It's very frustrating when there's a train. And you're like, dude, it's the year 2026. How are trains still in the way this day and age?
In town, they still block it on 4th Street, and they also block it on 15th Street. But they did put bridges on 20th and also on Connecticut.
And soon to be 32nd as well.
And soon to be 32nd.
Yeah, which is great. So what does this mean for drivers? Well, drivers will still have access to all businesses on Davis Boulevard during the construction of this project in Joplin. But while the new Davis Boulevard alignment is being connected to Stevens Boulevard in Joplin, the existing intersection at 32nd Street will be permanently closed, and traffic will be detoured along Range Line and 20th Street. So very basically, just follow the detours. You know, it's not that crazy.
Yeah, that's very true. And also, in addition to that, just to make sure you add a little more time, especially if you have to take Range Line, because there's a few more stoplights on Range Line as compared to Davis Boulevard.
Yeah, that is true. So you might need to get a little used to that. But nothing too crazy. So this project is costing about $2.9 million in total and will be done somewhere, hopefully around early December of this year.
Oh, great. They're getting on it and getting on it quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's not that bad considering they're moving an entire road.
That's true.
So, well, grace what grace is due. But anyway, details on that road work can also be found at newstalkkzrg.com. Hey, some big stuff coming up or later on in the show at, what time is it? It's 6:49 right now, so here's some quick math. It's 7:10. That's in less than 20 minutes. How's that?
Right at 20 minutes.
Right at 20 minutes, says Steve. At 7:10, we're going to be joined by Aaron Headland. Aaron, spelled with 2 A's, because that's, let me say it correctly. Aaron is going to be joining us.
That's Aaron.
He is a research fellow at the St. Louis Federal Reserve Bank, We're going to be talking to him about Missouri's Amendment 5, which if it's voted by Missouri voters, what it would do is repeal, or rather phase out, the individual state income tax. But that's not really a tax cut, because they're not just going to call it quits. They're going to replace that diffused income for the state of Missouri with a series of increases on sales taxes. So it's not so much a tax cut so much as it is a tax replacement. Now, the question, of course, is, well, what sales taxes might go up? Will it go up on food? Will it go up on me buying shoes? Will it go up on electronics? Will it go up on gas? What are the sales taxes that will go up? And the answer is we don't know.
Will it go up on streaming?
Will it go up on streaming? Will it go up on online purchases? We're not sure. That's called the use tax. We're not sure. And by the way, neither does the state of Missouri, because if this passes, it gives them a couple of years to figure that out. So you got to pass the bill to find out what's in the bill, is sort of the logic on this one.
Hey, they took it from Nancy Pelosi. All right.
Look at that. Nancy's legacy. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be asking Aaron Headland, Ron, about this. What's going on with this? That's coming up at 7:10. If you have questions and concerns, feel free to voice them with an open mic message on the KZRG app, totally free to download on the App Store or Google Play Store, or you can text us at 417-782-1310. KZRG News Time, 6:50.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
President Trump arrived at a NATO summit with a bone to pick. The president is expected to talk with our European allies about pulling their weight with the Iran situation. Will our allies answer the call of duty? News Talk KZRG will keep you up to date.
Number 2.
Joplin City Council voted to delay action on a proposed ordinance regulating future data centers. The regulation would require data centers to obtain a special use permit. The reasoning for the delay is they felt more public feedback could further strengthen the proposal.
Number 1.
Missouri American Water seeking a rate increase tied to a $1.6 billion system overhaul. That means your average house will see an extra $15 added to their monthly bill. What will they use the money for? Replacing aging pipes, upgrading treatment facilities, and modernizing equipment.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on Missouri Amendment 5, which would phase out the state income tax and replace it with higher sales taxes? We want to know your thinking. Text us at 417-782-1310 or leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. Coming up, Sean's Morning Minute. You can tune in to Sean Hannity every single weekday, starting, of course, at 2 on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, and on the KZRG app, and streaming live at newstalkkzrg.com. It's News Talk KZRG. Good morning.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The ridge building west, and that's going to keep us, I'd say, hot and dry. If anything, we'll get a little bit hotter midweek. We'll go from about 90 degrees today after some patchy fog. This morning we'll have sunshine around. Heat index mid-90s. Here's 70 tonight to the low 90s. Tomorrow with sunshine around with a heat index in the upper 90s. And then by Thursday we could push to mid-90s with sunshine and a heat index close to 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's BALD plan means voter approval.
Good morning, everybody. Who's getting Steve started over here?
Who? Tay-Tay, just TNT Mary.
Oh, my God.
Did you see that sign
Who
in the
is
picture?
this, Bill?
Just TNT Mary.
Bill, why? I was hoping that Steve had slept through it and missed the whole thing.
The preacher was Adam Sandler. Yes, the comedian. He's also the director of the Price is Right game show.
The Sandman. Gotta love the Sandman.
The guy who took on the original host of The Price is Right. Bob Barker in a fight on the golf course.
Oh, Bill.
And you know what he told the couple? He told the couple they need to kiss all the time to make sure that their marriage stays strong.
Oh.
And now talk about Swifties. If she has babies, they're going to be called Swifties.
Swifties, like Travis?
Yeah, they're like Swifties.
Swifties.
Yeah, Swifties.
Oh, my God. Bill.
News breaking. Taylor and
Bill!
Travis are married.
Bill, what have you done? You've forsaken us, Bill. All right. Austin said American Water should use the money they have in profit to do those things, not charge customers more. Yeah, you would think, Austin. You would think. I'm on the fence about 5, hoping this interview will clarify a few things. Yeah, me too, Sarisa. I'm also hoping that. And yes, the Sandman was there.
Now that's a job for JB.
That's a job for JB.
That's a job for JB.
Homeowners everywhere are letting their neighbors know. If you have electrical issues, call on the residential specialists, JB Electric. When it comes to something as important as your home's electrical system, good enough just won't cut it. At JB Electric, we operate by the JB standards, a set of rules that all of our electricians live by. One of those standards is integrity. We will always shoot you straight, even if it's not the news you were hoping for. A job done right isn't just something that we say. It's what we actually put into practice every day.
I'm Joshua Blood with JB Electric. We believe you should get the whole truth and nothing but the truth when it comes to your electrical issues. That's one of our JB Electric standards of excellence. When you have electrical issues with your home, that's a job for JB. Call us today at 417-647-3100 or get started today at gojbelectric.com. That's gojbelectric.com.
Is your smile summer ready? Whether you're posing for vacation photos or relaxing on the lake, make sure your smile shines with help from Modern Dentistry and Cosmetics. Dr. Hamby is a certified Invisalign Gold provider, offering expert care and personalized treatment to give you the confident smile you deserve. From professional whitening to advanced Invisalign services, Modern Dentistry and Cosmetics is ready to help you look and feel your best. Visit mdco.dental to book your appointment today. Modern Dentistry and Cosmetics, where cosmetic dentistry meets radiance.
The truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Why are people moving to a country if their goal is to instill the values from the country they came from rather than assimilate into, I believe, Western culture, civilization that is far more in keeping with what I believe is God's intention, which is that we are meant to live in freedom, but you have to embrace freedom to live in it. 10% of Europe thinks that America has abandoned them. No, they've abandoned us. They wouldn't let us use their air bases, taking out nuclear weapon sites of the Iranian #1 state sponsor of terror. Where is their moral compass?
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
All right, inflation fears are back as the Treasury yields now hit their highest levels in nearly 20 years. What does that mean for your money? What does that mean for your retirement savings? What does that mean for your quality of life in retirement? You know, Reagan famously said, inflation is as violent as a mugger, as frightening as an armed robber, as deadly as a hitman. Now, I always listen to Ronald Reagan. You should too. Learn how you can help protect your savings and hedge your money against inflation. Reach out to my great partners, and I'm a customer, over at the top-rated gold and silver company, Goldco. They will rush you a free gold and silver guide. It's a great kit filled with critical information. And then you can also see if you qualify for an extra 10% in bonus gold or silver just for getting started. I'm a customer like you. Goldco, great partner also of the show. Call them now, 855-815-GOLD, 855-815-GOLD. One more time, 855-815-GOLD.
News, talk, commentary, and hard truths. All those can be heard when you tune into the Mark Levin Show every weekday from 5 to 8 on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Just before 7 in the a.m., it's Ted Bojorquez.
It's Steve Scott.
On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG.
Going to be sunny and warm today with a high of 90. Heat index values as high as 94. Tomorrow, sunny and hot with a high of 93. On Thursday, our warmest day of the week, sunny and hot with a high near 97. Then it's going to be a little bit cooler on Friday, mostly sunny and hot with the high of only 93. That's going to be the words that we hear from KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. We're going to talk to him about maybe getting some rain a little bit, maybe this weekend.
Coming up in less than 10 minutes, just after the news, we'll be joined by Aaron Hedlund. We'll be talking to him about Missouri's Amendment 5, which could repeal the individual state income tax and replace it with a series of sales taxes. That's coming up at 7:10. Good morning.
4 states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin, a free service of Zimmer Marketing. It's 7 o'clock.
With friends like these, I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Trump's arrived in Turkey for a 2-day NATO summit, meeting with allies he accuses of being disloyal for insufficient support in the military operation against Iran and not paying enough for their own defense. NATO is investing $40 billion over the next 5 years in drone fighting technology.
We know these are crucial capabilities on the battlefield and vital to our shared security.
NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. Iran's military has resumed attacks on commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz.
The Iranian government has repeatedly stated that the only safe route through the strait is one it has approved. The ship set on fire by a projectile today was transiting near the coast of Oman. State TV says the liquefied natural gas tanker came under attack after ignoring warnings. Iran suspected of attacking other ships that have sailed through that same area. Those strikes sparked retaliatory attacks by the United States. Iran then went after Gulf Arab neighbors in response.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Maine Senate candidate Graham Plattner has until next Monday to withdraw and let the state Democratic Party replace him on the ballot against incumbent Susan Collins. He is accused of drunkenly raping a woman 5 years ago.
While Plattner called the sexual assault allegation by a woman who said they dated on and off false, GOP Senator Susan Collins said in a brief statement, the claim is appalling. Plattner, in his video response, said he's assessing his candidacy.
We are taking the time to reflect on the best path forward.
Prominent Democrats pulled their endorsements of Plattner, including Congressman Ro Khanna and Senators Chuck Schumer, Ruben Gallego, and Mark Kelly. Maine's Democratic Party also called for Plattner to drop out. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Team USA's run at the World Cup soccer tournament comes to an end, beaten by Belgium 4-1 in the round of 16 last night in Seattle. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG, heading for a high of 90. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 7:08. Sun is shining, 68 in Neosho, 68 in Pittsburgh, 70 in Carthage, 70 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk, KZRG. An extra $15 per month out of your account.
Now, Missouri American Water officially asking the state's Public Service Commission for a rate hike that could go into effect next June. The company says their plan is going to modernize aging water and wastewater systems and total about $1.6 billion. Now, in Joplin, it would fund a new carbon feed system, well site treatment upgrades, and filter backwash improvements so that it can maintain consistent water quality and reliable service. Now, again, this still has to be approved by the Missouri PSC, and you will have a chance to give them your thoughts on that proposal. I'm Cy Albright for News Talk KZRG.
Well, the Joplin City Council wants more time before putting new rules on future data centers. Members unanimously voted to send a proposed data center ordinance back to the Planning and Zoning Commission for more work. City staff want to strengthen the proposal after getting public feedback and recommendations from a recent statewide workshop. The ordinance would require special use permits for future data centers and include standards for noise, lighting, water use, air quality, and sustainability. The revised ordinance is expected to return to the council in August.
The state budget that the governor signed included almost $500 million in cuts and freezes. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe says the lawmakers were planning to spend more money than projected revenue would cover. State Senator Rusty Black agrees and says that things have changed since the state had federal funding to work with after COVID.
Making sure that we saved as much money as we could as the federal government supplied stimulus
dollars in many different ways, and the state did partner with several entities throughout the state of Missouri to benefit citizens, benefit projects, upgrade things, and those days are probably over, or at least over for a while.
If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310, Sunshine 70, 705, News Talk, KZRG.
Even more Joplin construction. Say goodbye to Davis Boulevard as you know it. Work will begin next week to move the roadway and connect it with Stevens Boulevard on 32nd Street next to General Mills. This is to make room for a future project to build the bridge over the railroad nearby. The $2.9 million project will also add new traffic signals and a westbound right turn lane at Stevens Boulevard. All the details at newstalkkzrg.com.
The Missouri Film Office says it's been another big year for movie making. Sue Danielson tells News Talk KZRG it could mean unusual opportunities for locals.
Film Office Director Andreas Borsuk-Klund says last year casting directors hired more than 2,000 Missourians to be extras or work with the crew. She says more commonly they will hire production assistants to help behind the scenes.
The cool thing is that you're in the middle of the action and you really get to see it all happening.
Missouri continues to be in a movie-making boom. The state's film production tax credit generated nearly $41 million of in-state film production spending last year. Sue Danielson, MissouriNet.
Boy, somebody was hot last night, according to Joe Morgan. I think it's the Royals.
The Kansas City Royals absolutely demolished Philadelphia last night in a 15-1 blowout. Salvador Perez, Luke Maile, Lane Thomas, and Tyler Tolbert all went yard, tagging Phillies ace Christopher Sanchez for a career-worst 9 earned runs. The Royals look to keep those bats hot tonight as they welcome the Mets to town. First pitch is locked in for 6:10. Meanwhile, a late inning collapse for the Cardinals, up by 3 in the 7th. The Redbirds let it slip away as David Hamilton and Bryce Turang sparked a 4-run rally to lift the Brewers to a 4-3 win. The lone bright spot for St. Louis was a sweet hit by Valquez.
One strike on Velasquez. He has an RBI tonight, and he rips that one down the left field line, and it's a fair ball going to the corner.
But they got a quick turnaround to shake this one off. Game 2 with Milwaukee gets underway early today. First pitch is at 1:15. And that will do it for the men's national team. They fell to Belgium in the World Cup 4-1. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news, a service of Liberty Tree Guns. Could you use some extra cash? Liberty Tree Guns, buying guns and gun collections and paying top dollar. Get a cash offer on your guns today at libertytreeguns.com. I'm Steve Scott along with Ted Bojorquez. Next news will be at 7:30. Breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here is your KZRG forecast. Hot and humid weather continues this morning. Maybe some patchy fog this afternoon. Some with a few clouds. 90, you'll feel like the mid-90s. Tonight, clear upper 60s. Sunny and hot, low 90s. Tomorrow, heat index, upper 90s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is a service of Indigo Sky Casino. The area's premier gaming destination is always a good time with delicious chef-created entrees, excellent adult beverages, and fantastic entertainment, too. Visit IndigoSkyCasino.com for details.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. Sunshine all over the place. It's 68 in Neosho, 68 in Pittsburgh. It is 70 in Diamond, 70 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time 7:08.
Gingrich Structures builds agricultural, commercial, and residential post-frame buildings designed to meet your needs. All built with superior craftsmanship and attention to every detail, from planning to completion. Your local Gingrich Pro will guide you every step of the way, helping you create a custom post-frame building you can count on for years to come. Visit GingrichStructures.com to connect with your local Gingrich Pro and ask about the industry's only 5-year workmanship warranty. That's GingerICHStructures.com.
Ready for a fresh new look? Discover affordable salon and spa services at City Point Beauty Academy in Webb City. Treat yourself to a new hairstyle, bold new color, or a precision cut. Want to glow, relax, and refresh with professional skincare services and rejuvenating facials designed to leave your skin radiant. Look great, feel amazing, and support future beauty professionals, all at prices you'll love. Call today or go online to book your appointment at citypointbeauty.com. All services are supervised by licensed salon professionals.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say Micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
You're listening to News Talk KZRG 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. Live from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio. From Studio 1Z. With the latest news, commentary, and weather. It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
7:10 is the current KZRG news time. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Joining us live right now is Aaron Hedlund. He is a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. Aaron, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
Now, Aaron, I wanted to talk to you this morning about Amendment 5 that Missouri voters are going to be seeing. Can you walk us through briefly what Amendment 5 is and what voters will actually be voting on?
Yes, absolutely. So Amendment 5, the number one thing it does is it puts in place a constitutional revenue growth limit. And what that does is it prevents Jefferson City from gobbling up more and more of people's paychecks. And what that means then is whenever there are surpluses, that automatically buys down the income tax rate until it eventually gets to zero. So that's the number one thing that's in there. The other thing it does is it authorizes the legislature to close sales tax loopholes that are disproportionately used by the wealthy. But there are key guardrails. If they do that, every single dollar brought in from any closing of loopholes has to be fed back to the taxpayers in the form of faster income tax reductions at the state level and local property tax reductions or sales tax rate reductions. So it's very much a tax-cutting bill and a kind of putting a speed limit on government kind of amendment.
Mm-hmm. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but my understanding is at least part of Amendment 5, along with phasing out the state income tax, would be an increase of individual sales taxes on various items. Is that not part of it too, Aaron?
No, that's the thing that's oftentimes a misunderstanding is, the day after this thing passes, there's no change to sales tax. Right? The idea that there's some automatic sales tax change is not the case. In fact, the legislature, if they wanted to, could already change sales tax rates, but again, that's not in the amendment. What the amendment does is it allows the legislature to change what is covered by the sales tax, because right now there's a lot of loopholes in there. So, for example, if you buy a CD, that's sales tax, but if you do it digitally, it's not sales tax. If you're some wealthy person who uses a money manager or lawyer or whatever, that thing is not. But if you're a low-income person and you buy goods at the store, that is. So we have a very antiquated sales tax, and this authorizes the legislature to kind of modernize that, but in a way that doesn't bring in any additional money on net. Right? So dollar for dollar, any sales tax money that comes in from this has to go to faster income tax reduction. But again, that's an optional thing. What's required in there is a revenue growth limit that prevents what we've been seeing over the past several years, which is Jefferson City has spent at double the rate of inflation since 2019. This would stop that. So that's why it's sort of on balance. It's very much a tax-cutting amendment.
Yeah. It's Aaron Hedlund. He's a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors, live here on News Talk KZRG. We're talking about Amendment 5 that Missouri voters will be seeing. So, Aaron, we've talked to a number of people about this amendment in the past, and all of them had mentioned that whether or not it's required, what is likely to happen is ultimately an increase in sales tax on various items if we get rid of the individual state income tax. The argument being that you can't just remove one of the major sources of Missouri state income for the state government and then expect everything to be just fine. So, I mean, whether or not that's written in the bill, isn't that the likely result that we're going to start seeing an increase on sales taxes?
I don't think you're likely to see any major change to the sales tax rate. What you could see
excuse me, Aaron,
is
to clarify,
certain higher-end services getting included in the sales tax that are currently not, but that would just basically accelerate the reduction in the income tax rate. So, for example, if the sales tax does not change, then it would take many years to phase out the income tax, but at least the Constitution here would put us on that road. If you do have a broader base, then, yeah, you could end up having the income tax gone in a matter of 4 or 5 years.
Right. And that's an important distinction, and thank you very much for that, Aaron Hedlund. They're not raising the the sales tax rate, but they are going to be imposing, in theory, more sales taxes on things that didn't previously have them. Is that right? Potentially.
They would be enabled to do that. But, of course, keep in mind that right now, people's paychecks are being taxed, and so anytime they go and buy anything, the tax has already been taken out of the paycheck. So what would happen is the paycheck tax goes away, and people can kind of choose how much to spend on different items. And then currently, again, a lot of upper-income people are spending money on services that are not taxed, while the goods that low-income people use are being taxed. So it's a very antiquated sales tax the way we have it. And the key thing to think about this is not about shuffling the deck or cutting the pie a different way. This is about how can we get a larger pie. Right? I think it's very important for all your listeners to understand that Missouri, for the past 25 years, has been in general bottom 10 in the country in economic growth. So we have to ask ourselves, why is it that why are there more jobs in places like Tennessee compared to where we are? Why is it that people get paid more elsewhere compared to where we are? It's not bad luck. It's not something in the dirt. It's because our economic policies are not very conducive to investment and businesses and jobs. And that's what this is about changing.
Right. It's Aaron Hedlund. He's a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors, live here on News Talk KZRG at a news time just after 7:15. We're talking live right now about Amendment 5, which Missouri voters are going to be seeing. So, Aaron, and you had touched on something that is really important and probably our biggest question that we've gotten from listeners about Amendment 5. You had noted that it's not just about cutting the pie in a different way. But if we were to phase out the individual state income tax in Missouri and instead replace that income, in theory, with a broader tax base in the form of more goods are going to see a sales tax that didn't previously have it, can you explain exactly how that isn't simply replacing one tax with a series of other taxes?
Yeah, so first of all, the place I would start is that it's not a one-for-one swap. That's why the speed limit part, the revenue growth limit, is so important. Without Amendment 5, government can continue to grow at twice the rate of inflation or more, as it has been. You put this in place, and we can bring down the income tax just because of that. Like, we're literally we're not cutting services, but we're kind of preventing government expansion. That enables us to reduce the income tax rate. Then the question is, how can we accelerate that? That's where expanding the sales tax by closing loopholes to services would enable us to get there faster. So that's the difference. It's not the sales tax isn't doing all the work. It's that the revenue growth limit is really an important component of it. And then the second part is if you get a bigger tax base, like more economic activity in the state, then that also enables you to get rid of the income tax faster because anytime you have a healthy economy, you have a better tax revenue. Let's look at an opposite scenario. Let's look at California. Like, California likes to move to a model where they put in place very high income tax rates, particularly on higher incomes, kind of pretending like it's some sort of economically just situation. The problem is they're always having budget deficits because people leave the state and jobs leave the state, and it's an economic disaster. So we're talking about creating the opposite model, and it's the model that's shown to be working in places like Texas and Tennessee and Florida.
It's Aaron Hedlund. He is a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. We're talking to him right now about Missouri's Amendment 5. Aaron, another major concern that we've gotten from listeners regarding Amendment 5, the fact that if it's passed, it would phase out the individual state income tax, but increase, or not increase the sales tax, but add a sales tax on more goods and services. We don't know what those goods and services are yet, correct? And so a lot of people are a little bit worried. A phrase I've been hearing a lot locally is, well, you got to pass the bill to see what's in the bill type thing. Can you walk us through, do you think that that is an issue? Do you think that that's an accurate description of what's going on?
No, I mean, we're talking about a constitution here. I mean, right now, constitutions never have every single detail of a tax code in them. Because the legislature always has the ability to go and change taxes with guardrails. So what people, I think, should be very attentive to is, what are those guardrails? Like, how do we know that when the legislature is doing tax policy, they're not going to do something that could cause a lot of damage? And that's where I think this amendment is extremely, extremely valuable, because it puts in place a guardrail that says any closing of sales tax loopholes, Jefferson City can't spend a dime of that money. Every single dollar that comes in from any change to the sales tax has to lead to faster income tax reduction. In addition, people are very upset about property taxes. Well, a less Swiss cheese-like sales tax base means that every single dollar that goes to local governments from any change has to lead to property tax reduction or lower sales tax rates. So people can be very confident that this kind of tax modernization and this pro-growth tax change cannot result in a larger tax bill going to Jefferson City. But again, you never have thousands of pages of a tax code or hundreds of pages of a tax code in a constitution. That would be very impractical.
It's Aaron Hedlund, member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors here on News Talk KZRG. Aaron, we're up against the clock here, but is there anything else that you think people should know about Missouri Amendment 5?
Yeah, I'd say a couple of key things. One is this is about reducing the overall tax burden. It's a responsible thing that phases out the income tax based on revenue growth triggers. And it's about, again, enabling a modernized sales tax base where you don't have the low-income people carrying the entire load of the sales tax, which is what's happening right now. Let's make it so that when people buy high-end services, let's go ahead and enable that to be part of a more level playing field so that we can stop taxing people's paychecks. And we don't have to be content being a bottom 10 economic growth state anymore. Right? The potential is in our hand to be a leading state with faster growing paychecks, more investment, more jobs, and Amendment 5 is the path to take us there.
Yeah. Aaron, you said something really quickly that I wanted to touch on here. That idea, why not tax more higher-end services? Is there any guarantee that that's what will happen, or would we just see sales taxes on, I don't know, things like food and shoes and everyday items? Is there any promise that that won't happen?
Well, the issue is shoes and food are already in the sales tax base. That's what I say when low-income people are carrying the entire load right now of the sales tax. That's already there. The things that aren't in the sales tax are the things that disproportionately higher-income people spend money on compared to low-income people. So it's a very unfair sales tax base as things stand because it was written in the 1930s. There's no reason why we have to continue with the 1930s sales tax or a 1917 income tax.
Right. Aaron Hedlund, I just want to say thank you very much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me on.
Have a good one, Aaron. KZRG News Time, 7:22.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
President Trump arrived at a NATO summit with a bone to pick. The president is expected to talk with our European allies about pulling their weight with the Iran situation. Will our allies answer the call of duty? News Talk KZRG will keep you up to date.
It's the KZRG Morning Challenge.
The Joplin City Council voted to delay action on a proposed ordinance regulating future data centers. The regulation would require data centers to obtain a special use permit. The reasoning for delay is they felt more public feedback could further strengthen the proposal.
Number 1.
Missouri American Water seeking a rate increase that would be tied to a $1.6 billion system overhaul. That means your average house will see an extra $15 added to their monthly bill. What will they use the money for? Replacing aging pipes, upgrading treatment facilities and modernizing equipment.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on Missouri's Amendment 5? You just heard us talking about it. We want to know your thoughts on it. Feel free to text us at 417-782-1310, or better yet, you can leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. Totally free to download on the App Store or Google Play Store. Coming up, a look at weekday weather on News Talk KZRG.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The ridge building west, and that's going to keep us, I'd say, hot and dry. If anything, we'll get a little bit hotter midweek. We'll go from about 90 degrees today after some patchy fog. This morning we'll have sunshine around. Heat index mid-90s. Here's 70 tonight to the low 90s. Tomorrow with sunshine around with a heat index in the upper 90s. And then by Thursday we could push to mid-90s with sunshine and a heat index close to 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Let's take a break.
Good idea.
Hey, Tom, what are you doing on that Amendment 4?
You know, we fought for our freedom and rights. I'm not giving them away without a fight.
4 takes them?
That's exactly what 4 does. For over 100 years, Missouri voters have used our constitutional power to act when the politicians refused. I'll be darned if I'm voting to pass on less freedom and power to my kids.
And doesn't 4 also kill majority rule?
Yup. Creates minority rule, or just 5% of the most liberal statewide voters in one Missouri congressional district that block any citizen-led reform, making it nearly impossible to pass common-sense conservative citizen ballot measures.
That's crazy town stuff.
And we've needed our citizen ballot measure power to pass some big conservative stuff, like outlawing tax hikes without voter approval, lobbyist reforms, and term limits for career politicians.
No way I'm letting a tiny fraction of liberals derail our conservative power. I've no on Amendment 4.
Hard no on 4.
Pay 4 buttons every inch per care governance.
Need a medical provider today? Act now. Access Family Care in Joplin offers same-day medical appointments. Go right now to accessfamilycare.org and request your same-day visit. Don't wait. Get care today at accessfamilycare.org.
At Access Family Care, you're never alone out there.
You know that feeling. Your driver calls and says, "You're not going to like this." It's your first holy cow moment of the day. Maybe it's a blown hub, a trailer that won't brake right, a lighting issue right before a load has to leave. But whatever it is, you know your day and your bottom line is at risk. That's why you need Bennett's Truck and Trailer. They know those holy cow moments hit fast. And when they do, you need someone who knows how to fix a problem and keep you moving. From the biggest fleets to owner-operators running on thin margins, Bennett's is the name people trust when the unexpected threatens to put the brakes on your day. Because at Bennett's, it's not just about parts and repairs, it's about keeping your business on the road. Fast service, experienced techs, dependable solutions. That's why so many companies trust the Bennett way.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Cindy from Bennett's Truck and Trailer. Roll into the shop on Thunder Road in Dunawig or find us online at bennettstrucktrailer.com.
Bennett's Truck and Trailer, the name fleets trust and the service drivers remember.
Want to know what's really going on? Then join me, Chris Plant, every weekday from 9 to 11 on News Talk KZRG. Depend on it.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
Steve Scott along with KZRG meteorologist, 3-day Ray Stajic. Hello, Ray.
Good morning, Steve. How's it going?
Well, it's really nice today. It's just going to be warm. It's not going to be hot. It's only going to be a high of 90, I understand. But then tomorrow it's going to be sunny and hot again. It's amazing how they just 3 degrees makes a difference between warm and hot.
It does. It does. I mean, it's all perspective, right? Usually you just say, well, it'll be seasonably warm, meaning pretty close to normal, which is about 90 this time of year. Today, probably going right for 90 degrees. Now, I know it's early in the month. We're 7 days in, but the hottest day so far this month was on the 2nd. That was 92 degrees. As we go through Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday, we could surpass that 92 degrees. So some of the hottest weather so far this early July is on the way. Tomorrow in the low 90s. Could push to mid-90s by Thursday, and then by Friday back to the low 90s. So lots of sunshine and dry weather is expected. Haven't seen much either this month so far, but we are running a little bit above normal. So it's sunny, close to 90 today. You factor in the humidity, it'll feel like the mid-90s. Tonight, warm near 70, And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm just going to lump them all together. Sunny, hot, and humid. Low to mid-90s, probably between about 93 and 96, with Thursday being the hottest day. Now, remember, that's the actual air temperature. You factor in the humidity, it's going to feel closer to 100. So it's not like we're getting extreme heat in this season, but still a little uncomfortable, pretty dangerous out there if you are going to be working out and about. And I do think we'll have some showers, thunder showers in here for at least a part of the weekend. That day looks like Saturday. But if I want to take a stab at the weekend, looks like it'll be scattered around Saturday and dry Sunday, more seasonable as we hover around 90 degrees or just above.
All right. So we have that to look forward to. Ray, thanks very much for joining us.
All right. Yep.
We'll talk to you again soon, Ray. That was KZRG's meteorologist, 3-Day Ray, with that little weather outlook for you here on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's News Talk KZRG.
At 7:30, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
POTUS NATO Summit.
Kirk death trial day 1 recap.
Sexual assault allegations.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. We're heading for a high of 90. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 7:38. Sunshine, it's already warming up. 68 in Neosho, 68 in Pittsburgh, 70 in Galena, it's 70 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. News Talk, KZRG.
President Trump traveling to Turkey to take part in a summit alongside NATO allies.
President Trump has already sat down and met with Turkish President Recep Erdogan, and the two have a lot to discuss. By the way, this was President Trump's first international trip aboard the new Air Force One gifted by the Qatari royal family. One of the big areas of discussion is allowing Turkey to rejoin the F-35 program. Congress and the White House barred Turkey from purchasing F-35s in 2019 during Trump's first term after the NATO ally acquired Russian S-400 air defense systems. Turkey claims it's already invested $1.4 billion into the program and had planned to purchase 100 of the advanced fifth-generation stealth fighter jets, and President Trump is expected to allow this transfer to take place, allow Turkey back in.
It is day 2 of the preliminary hearing for the alleged assassin of Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. With the story, Chanley Painter.
The group of family and supporters, including Donald Trump Jr., took up the first 2 rows of the gallery. Also in court, the parents of Tyler Robinson, who sat with some relatives. And as court began, Erica appeared very emotional, at times wiping tears with a handkerchief, at one point laying her head on Charlie's mother's shoulder. The first witness, Chris Bagley, was on duty at Utah Valley University that day. And as he began to describe hearing the gunshot and seeing Charlie fall, Erica Kirk immediately stood up, and several others followed her out of the courtroom. Bagley then went on to testify about racing to that gravel roof where prosecutors believe Robinson fired that fatal shot.
Hey, really quickly here, we have a little bit of breaking news. Hamas offering to hand over authority of the Gaza Strip. Lillian Wu with this update.
Hamas says it's dissolving the body that's governed Gaza for nearly 2 decades, with senior members resigning, though some technical and professional personnel would remain to run the Palestinian enclave's day-to-day affairs. Hamas describing this decision as evidence of its commitment to Gaza's reconstruction after years of war, but it did not say whether it plans to disarm or hand over security to an international force. It has offered to hand over control of the Strip to a U.S.-backed Palestinian committee, the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza. President Trump's Board of Peace, which oversees that committee, says it'll assess the impact of the move based on actions, not promises. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Sunshine, 70, 733, News Talk, KZRG.
An extra $15 per month out of your account.
Now, Missouri American Water officially asking the state's Public Service Commission for a rate hike that could go into effect next June. The company says their plan is going to modernize aging water and wastewater systems and total about $1.6 billion. Now, in Joplin, it would fund a new carbon feed system well site treatment upgrades, and filter backwash improvements so that it can maintain consistent water quality and reliable service. Now, again, this still has to be approved by the Missouri PSC, and you will have a chance to give them your thoughts on that proposal. I'm Ty Albright for News Talk KZRG.
It's official. President Donald Trump ended up approving a federal disaster declaration for Cherokee County, Kansas, from the storms that we saw on the night of Sunday, April 26th. That was the EF1 tornado that touched down west of Columbus along Highway 160, and the storms that brought torrential rainfall to that part of the county. This allows state and local levels of government to apply for public assistance funds for cost of damage repair. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 70, 735, News Talk, KZRG.
President Trump won't sign a bipartisan bill aimed at making housing more affordable. Missouri U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt was one of the 85 senators who voted for the bill.
I think one of the provisions in there that I was very supportive of was to make sure these hedge funds and private equity guys stop buying up single-family homes.
However, if the president takes no action, the legislation will automatically become law without his signature this Friday.
After a huge album release in January, country singer Zach Bryan has more music on the way.
If you could just go back.
Zach Bryan shared a teaser of an unreleased song called Lodi Win, a nod to the small city in Northern California. The tease, which dropped on YouTube Friday, also revealed he has a new EP on the way. Bryan posted the news underneath the video, noting the song is off the new EP, Young Manhood and Other Donatable Organs. Earlier this year, Bryan dropped his long-awaited 6th studio album with Heaven on Top, along with a full-length acoustic version of the record. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Boy, the Royals were on fire last night, according to Joe Morgan.
The Kansas City Royals absolutely demolished Philadelphia last night in a 15-1 blowout. Salvador Perez, Luke Maile, Lane Thomas, and Tyler Tolbert all went yard, tagging Phillies ace Christopher Sanchez for a career-worst 9 earned runs. The Royals look to keep those bats hot tonight as they welcome the Mets to town. First pitch is locked in for 6:10. Meanwhile, a late inning collapse for the Cardinals, up by 3 in the 7th. The Redbirds let it slip away as David Hamilton and Bryce Turang sparked a 4-run rally to lift the Brewers to a 4-3 win. The lone bright spot for St. Louis was a sweet hit by Valquez.
One strike on Velasquez. He has an RBI tonight, and he rips someone down the left field line, and it's a fair ball going to the corner.
But they got a quick turnaround to shake this one off. Game 2 with Milwaukee gets underway early today. First pitch is at 1:15. And that will do it for the men's national team. They fell to Belgium in the World Cup 4-1. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news, a service of Liberty Tree Guns. Could you use some extra cash? Liberty Tree Guns, buying guns and gun collections and paying top dollar. Get a cash offer on your guns today at libertytreeguns.com. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bohorquez.
Next news, 8 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The ridge building west, and that's going to keep us, I'd say, hot and dry. If anything, we'll get a little bit hotter midweek. We'll go from about 90 degrees today after some patchy fog. This morning we'll have sunshine around. Heat index mid-90s. Here's 70 tonight to the low 90s. Tomorrow with sunshine around with a heat index in the upper 90s. And then by Thursday we could push to mid-90s with sunshine and a heat index close to 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Nothing showing up precipitation-wise this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. It's sunny. It's 68 in Neosho, 68 in Pittsburgh, 70 in Hornet, 70 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time 7:38.
Just like you, the hot weather can be tough on your truck. This is Justin with JL Mobile Truck and Trailer Repair. Hot roads are hard on your tires, your radiators, your hoses, and a lot more. So if you're broken down, remember JL Mobile Truck and Trailer Repair. They can get your truck or your heavy equipment back in action 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Or we can take care of your regular maintenance and stop those problems before they leave you stranded. Call us at 888-948-9461 or visit jlmobilerepair.com.
Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Josh with Bridgewater Roofing. We can't prevent severe weather from happening this season, but we'll be there for you with a...
Good morning, everybody. What do we got here? Way behind on comments. I apologize. I know Mary's here. Cerisa's here. Isaac, good morning, Isaac.
Joey's not here anymore.
Joe is out. See you, Joe. Mary said, how do we know they're not going to sneak something else in on this? We don't. We really, really don't. Yeah, personally, I thought Aaron was informative. He's a nice guy. I was unconvinced. I think he was shielding a lot of information with flowery language. That sounds nice. Yeah, I don't really trust it either. Cerisa might be pro Amendment 5 now. Yeah, again, everyone we've talked to about Amendment 5 said that they're going to be increasing things that already... putting more sales tax on things that don't already have it. So, and as Aaron had noted, it's not an increase on the sales tax. They're not changing the sales tax rate. They're just putting it on more things. So I don't know. I'm still pretty unconvinced, to be honest, personally. Oh yeah, and then and we didn't get into this, but he had mentioned well, what about things that we buy online that doesn't have sales tax? What about that? Well, Missouri already has a use tax. A use tax is functionally is basically a digitized sales tax. Stuff you buy online on Amazon or on Temu or whatever.
eBay.
What?
eBay.
eBay, that already has a use tax. Missouri already has that. So that's already a thing. So, this idea of modernizing that aspect and being like, well, we'll just add it'll increase just taxes on that. We already have that. So, I don't know. I'm pretty unconvinced still.
This is your business.
Ew, what's that smell?
This is your business after a visit from Helping Hands Commercial Cleaning Services.
At Helping Hands, they get it. The dust bunny colony multiplying daily under your office desk. That window grime that turns a noxious shade of yellow when the sun hits it just right. The mess that keeps growing. It feels overwhelming. But Helping Hands can help. Cleaning is kind of their thing, and they do it without judgment. They provide reliable cleaning solutions backed by a spotless reputation. So whether your business needs a light dusting and quick refresh or a top-to-bottom deep clean, they can create a cleaning service that best fits your business needs. And they work with businesses of all kinds, from large-scale facilities and medical and manufacturing to professional offices and high-security facilities. Even if the mess feels out of control, Helping Hands can get you back on track fast. No judgment. They're ready to do the dirty work. Find Helping Hands Commercial Cleaning Services on Facebook or at helpinghandsservices.com.
Zimmer Marketing is proud to partner with 2026 Zimmer Cares winner, Evan's Voice.
If your child received a threatening message tonight, what would they do? Would you know where to turn for help? Physical safety is easy to identify, but today's dangers don't always come from the streets. They often come through a screen. On January 3rd, 2024, 16-year-old Evan Bettler became a victim of an international sextortion scheme. Tragically, the experience led him to take his own life. Evan's parents turned their grief into action, creating Evan's Voice to educate families, raise awareness, and help prevent future tragedies. Through sharing Evan's story, providing resources for families, supporting victims, and advocating for stronger protections, Evan's Voice is helping parents, students, and communities understand the growing threat of online exploitation and sextortion. Learn more about Evan's Voice. Access resources for your family. Contact evansvoice.org for more information.
Zimmer Cares, helping local charities deliver their message to the hearts and minds of the 4 states.
Hi, this is Vince Colonnese. Tonight at 8, right after Mark Levin, we'll break down the news, connect the dots, and give you the real story on News Talk KZRG.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
The current KZRG news time is 7:43. It's 70 in Joplin, 73 in Pittsburgh, 75 in Miami, 72 in Neosho. It's going to be warm, but not hot today, right, Steve?
That's right. According to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic, it's going to be seasonably warm today with a high of 90 with lots of sunshine. But the word hot comes back in the forecast for the next at least 3 days. Sunny and hot tomorrow with a high of 93. Sunny and hot on Thursday, 97. Sunny and hot on Friday with a high of 93. Heat index is getting as high as the real feel of about 100 on some of those days. So the warm weather is returning, and then we have a possibility of some rain coming up this weekend. We're going to keep an eye on it and keep you informed of that as the weather gets closer to us over the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Well, data centers is a major topic in the 4 states area. It's a major topic in the country, and it's now becoming a major topic on planet Earth. Soon to be Mars and the moon, because Elon is thinking about putting data centers on the moon, on Mars, and whatnot.
I wonder if there'll be people protesting that up there on the moon.
Got to save the moon rocks, man. So pretty soon, this is going to be a solar system-wide issue.
Oh, wow.
On data centers. Who would have thunk it? Well, according to a new study from the Better Business Bureau, consumers are increasingly frustrated with artificial intelligence-powered customer service, powered through data centers. Look at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people are sick of AI. They are sick of AI. Imagine a world where you call, I don't know, a local power and electric company because something's wrong with, I don't know, your bill. And instead of getting a human being answering to say, hey, man, why did I get my neighbor's bill? Instead of that, you get an AI voice that can't seem to understand anything you say and likes to speak really, really slowly. So when you call them, it takes you about 27 minutes just to get through the opening operation menu.
Yeah.
Imagine a world as frustrating and heinous as that.
Imagine a world.
Yeah. Now open your eyes. You're living in it.
I know.
That's the world we live in now, and people are sick of it. And we now have empirical evidence to suggest that that's the case. The Better Business Bureau analyzed more than 100,000 complaints from consumers and found that artificial intelligence and automation is one of the most frustrating things for American consumers, period, across the board. That's pretty bad. Now, one of the other really common concerns that this report found is that customers, as a result of all this AI nonsense, feels completely unheard, unable to resolve issues with, again, I don't know, billing practices, for instance. Just throwing that one out there as a total random example.
Why not? Throw it on out.
And the fact that they're forced to interact with the automated systems instead of a live human being has led to an insane amount of frustration.
My favorite line when you call some place that's got AI that's supposed to help you get through the prompts, you push a prompt and you say, like, for instance, a live person, they go, well, I can help you with that. Well, then why don't you just go ahead and help me with it?
Yeah. What I do, honestly, a little life hack here, when the second you hear an automated voice, don't even wait for the menu options. Just immediately say customer service. Customer service. If you just say that, most AI systems are trained to get you to a person because they end up giving you the option anyway. About 12 minutes into the automated menu where it tells you about all the options.
I've had one that just changed AI voices.
Oh, that's hilarious, really.
Yeah. Said, let me connect you to customer services. And it's, hello, this is customer service. And it's an AI generated thing again.
Boy, that's real sneaky. What jerks. What company did that? Who was that?
I don't remember exactly who it was, but I know somebody I was trying to get a hold of. I think it was the insurance company, health insurance company.
Oh, that's about right. Yeah. Health insurance, yeah. They make it real difficult to get in contact with them. No question about it. So in any case, yeah, again, we now have empirical evidence to suggest from the Better Business Bureau that Americans are sick of all these AI voices. Anecdotally, the evidence has been there for years. I hate it. Steve hates it. Everyone in the 4 states, I talk to you out in the streets. You see me in the grocery stores. You say, hey, Ted, you really are as good looking as you play it up on radio. And I said, oh, stop it. You're right. But what's really frustrating to you? And they say AI data centers and AI automated voice messaging systems and all that.
Can you imagine if the AI data centers start dating each other? That'd be rather interesting, too.
Star-crossed lovers, huh, Steve?
Oh, yeah.
So any case, now here's the other thing that's scary about this. The Better Business Bureau, in addition to this, is also warning that scammers are now using these AI automated systems to carry out frauds and schemes.
Oh, yeah.
Scams. And the reason why is because all these AI answering machines have become so commonplace. They've become normalized. And so when you get one of these calls, you kind of think it might be real. You suddenly, the little robot voice over the phone, which, 5, 6, 7 years ago would have been an obvious red flag that it's probably a scam. Suddenly,
today.
not anymore.
Nope.
It seems fairly plausible now, which is exactly what scammers are relying on. So not only are these AI automated systems that these companies are using unbelievably frustrating to you and I, they also aid and embed scammers.
My favorite one is also getting one from a streaming service that I don't subscribe to saying, we had a problem processing your payment. Just press this button and we'll get it taken care of right now to get the payment processed.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I'm not subscribing to your service.
Well, that's why they're having a problem processing the payment.
That's right.
They said, hey, Steve, we noticed that you didn't input any of your credit card information because you don't utilize us as a service. Let's go ahead and fix that right now.
That's right. Do it.
Yeah, what are those 3 wacky numbers on the back of your card? Just go ahead and say them aloud.
Ooh.
Yeah. So anyway, what are your thoughts? I mean, how frustrated are you with these AI automated voice machines and menus for companies? Again, if you love them, I would love to hear that opinion, because I anecdotally have not heard a single human being say that they really like the AI automated answering machines when they call an insurance company or a hospital or a local electric company, things like that. I've never once heard someone say that they are just over the moon for them.
Oh, they're so happy. Yeah,
But I could be wrong. Maybe you love them. Text us, 417-782-1310. If you're like the rest of human beings and hate them, we want to hear that opinion too. Leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. KZRG News Time, 7:50.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
President Trump arrived at a NATO summit with a bone to pick. The president is expected to talk with our European allies about pulling their weight with the Iran situation. Will our allies answer to the call of duty? News Talk KZRG will keep you up to date.
Number 2.
The Joplin City Council voted to delay action on a proposed ordinance regulating future data centers. The regulation would require data centers to obtain a special use permit. Their reasoning for delay is they felt that more public feedback could further strengthen the proposal.
Number 1.
Missouri American Water seeking a rate increase tied to a $1.6 billion system overhaul. That means your average house will see an extra $15 added to their monthly bill. What will they use the money for? Replacing aging pipes, upgrading treatment facilities, and modernizing equipment.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on Missouri's Amendment 5, which would phase out the state income tax and could replace it with more sales taxes? We want to know. Leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app, or you can text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, your chance to win a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos on News Talk KZRG.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The ridge building west, and that's going to keep us, I'd say, hot and dry. If anything, we'll get a little bit hotter midweek. We'll go from about 90 degrees today after some patchy fog. This morning we'll have sunshine around. Heat index mid-90s. Near 70 tonight to the low 90s tomorrow with sunshine around with a heat index in the upper 90s. And then by Thursday we could push to mid-90s with sunshine and a heat index close to 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Wow, it's really hot out here.
Why don't you take your coat off? It's over 90 degrees today.
I can't. It's stuck.
Your coat is stuck?
And I think it's giving me a rash or something because I'm itching and stewing over here.
While you can beat the heat with shorts, sandals, and a trip to the pool, your dog is stuck wearing the same fur coat every day. That's why summer grooming at All Dogs Dream is so important. Professional grooming helps remove excess undercoat, allows the skin to breathe more easily, and helps keep your pet comfortable when temperatures start to climb. It's also a great time to catch fleas, ticks, and skin issues early. From relaxing spa packages to individual services like grooming, baths, and blowouts, All Dogs Dream has everything your pet needs to look, feel, and smell their best this summer. Find more information and book your dog's next grooming appointment online at alldogsdream.com. Let your dog stay, play, and learn with us at All Dogs Dream, just north of Neosho on Gateway Drive.
Goldilocks needed a dumpster. The first one she rented was too small.
My garage stuff won't fit.
The second dumpster was too big.
I don't own that much junk.
Then she found the yellow box from Big John's roll-off service.
This dumpster is just right.
Big John's. Hey, I'm the Big John from Big John's Roll-Off Service.
And I'm the wife, Claire.
And our yellow box special gives you 15 to 20 yards of space and is the same footprint as a smaller box, but taller, so you can fit more.
It's perfect for garage cleanouts, home projects and remodels, moving, downsizing, or finally tackling that backyard pile you've been ignoring.
For just $400, you get 7 days of rental and the first 2,000 pounds of debris.
But we've only got 3 yellow boxes, so once they're booked, they're booked.
Reserve yours today at BigJohnsRolloff.com.
When you've got big waste, you need Big John's.
Big on service, big on savings. Big John's.
The Wisdom of the Praying Mantis, Chapter 2.
I will jump into the road,
said the adolescent insect.
No, young grasshopper, do not test the pavement, for you run the risk of being washed away in a hurricane. Car wash.
The praying mantis wisely replied.
I don't understand. How does this happen?
As the insects attempt to cross the grassless divide, a human comes along in an automobile. Many bugs then collide with what is called a bumper. The wise humans then wash away the splattered remains at a place called Hurricane Car Wash. They seem to like it very much. It has an app that allows them to buy memberships to this place and wash their cars as much as they like.
Say goodbye to bug guts at Hurricane Car Wash. Get unlimited daily washes in the soft touch or touch-free bays 24/7 at all 3 of their locations. Download the Touch 4 Wash app today or find out more at hurricanecarwash.net. When the only thing strong enough to fight the dirt is a hurricane. Hurricane Car Wash.
Save big money on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Update your window treatments with window images, blinds, and shades. We carry everything you need, including vinyl, aluminum, and faux wood blinds, cellular shades, and more. Plus, get them trimmed to width in-store for free. Save big on window images, blinds, and shades. Check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, your friend Sean Hannity here. Every weekday starting at 2, I am live on FM 102.9 and AM 1310 News Talk KZRG. Tune in. Stay up to date.
It's the KZRG Morning Challenge.
Your chance to win a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos.
To win, be the first one on the phone with the correct answer to the question, 417-782-1310, 417-782-1310. Ted, what's the question?
Today's question is an international question in honor of the FIFA World Cup. A lot of international teams gathering in various locations in the United States for fun and good times. And so we have an international question in honor of that. Here it is. It might be a tough one. Which river runs through Paris, France? Not Paris, Missouri or Paris, Texas. Paris, France. Which river runs through it? What is the name of that river? 417-782-1310. I will say it's kind of a famous river a little bit. I've heard of this river before. I didn't know that this is the one that ran through France, or excuse me, that ran through Paris. So this might be a tough one, but if you get it, hey, all the more bragging rights and glory go to you. Which river runs through Paris, France? 417-782-1310. What is the name of that river? Steve, what are we giving away?
Complimentary taco plus chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos.
There's a major river that runs right through Paris, France. It's where all the frogs hang out because they're semi-aquatic amphibious creatures.
Oh, yeah.
Which river is that? 417-782-1310. Which river runs through Paris, France? What is the name of it? News Talk KZRG, what is your guess?
It's the Seine or the Scene or, well, I don't know. I'm not a frog, but I know it has a lot of frogs around it. You know, since you just made the frog joke, guys, you had to get it in there, you know.
It is absolutely a requirement.
The Seine. It's the Scene or, is it Scene or Seine?
I think it's sane.
They're trying to see if you're
Seine? Well, it's French. I don't know. When I went to France, they were all assholes. So.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for calling us. We appreciate it. That is exactly right. Who do we have here?
This is Scott from Carthage.
Hey, Scott from Carthage. What's your favorite radio station?
KZRG 1310. You guys rock.
Oh, thanks, Scott. Appreciate you, man. Stay on the horn for us here, man. We'll be with you in just a second, and you have just won a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Taco. Stay on the horn with us here, Scott. Yeah, the Seine is the what do you call it? The river that runs through France. And
have you seen the Seine?
I have not seen the Seine, and I would be insane to see the Seine because
I wonder if a movie company was there filming it. Would they say you've seen the Seine?
Boo. Fun fact about this river, though, it's 482 miles long.
Wow.
That's pretty big.
That's very big.
That's a pretty big river. I mean, they're not messing around.
I didn't know Paris was that big.
No. Well, yeah. It runs through it, Steve.
Oh, runs through it. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of things running through things, heat is going to be running through the 4 states area. What are we looking at?
Seasonable temperatures today, sunny with a high of around 90 today, but tomorrow, sunny, hot, 93. Thursday, sunny, hot, high of 97. Sunny and hot on Friday with a high of 93, according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We'll be keeping you up to date. The Zimmer Storm Center app is also a great way to keep along with all things weather. It's FM 102.9, 105.9 AM 1310, News Talk KZRG.
The 4 states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin, a free service of Zimmer Marketing. It's 8 o'clock.
Talk in Turkey. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Trump is in Ankara for a 2-day NATO summit. The alliance announces billions of dollars in multinational arms deals as the president keeps up the pressure for Europe to spend more on its own defense. And he's met with Turkey's President Erdogan today.
Right from the beginning, good chemistry. We've had a very special relationship. Turkey has become, under the president, a very powerful country militarily.
There's some downtime next and a social dinner with the other world leaders. A hearing resumes in 2 hours in Utah about whether there's enough evidence to try Tyler Robinson for the conservative activist Charlie Kirk's murder.
Former State Bureau of Investigations agent David Hull testified that as they looked into the murder of Charlie Kirk last September, they were reviewing footage of what they believed to be the suspect's vehicle when they found out someone was turning themselves in.
Yeah, did you, at that point in time, did you receive a name from Washington County?
Yes, we did.
And what was that name?
Tyler Robinson.
Earlier in the day, Officer Chris Bagley testified he suspected the shooting came from the top of a building on the Utah Valley University campus, and dispatch confirmed someone had been seen on the roof.
The individual stood up after the shooting and ran northeast on the top of the Losi building.
Kirk's widow Erica and his parents are attending the hearing this week. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Team USA's World Cup dreams are dashed with a 4-1 loss to Belgium in their round of 16 match in Seattle. Fox Sports commentator Tyler Terrence.
Every single player showed up and had their worst game of the tournament individually, and it looked like that collectively, and it was such a gut punch for what otherwise was a perfect tournament for the U.S.
2002 men's team was the last to make it this far before losing in the quarterfinals. Maine Senate candidate Graham Plattner is told to withdraw from the race by Senate leaders in the state's Democratic Party. He's accused of rape by a woman he was dating off and on 5 years ago. He denies it and says he'll take time off from the campaign for now. America's listening to Fox News.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG, heading for a high of 90. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 8:08. Sunshine, 72 in Neosho, 73 in Pittsburgh, 75 in Carthage, 75 in Joplin, AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk, KZRG. An extra $15 per month out of your account.
Now, Missouri American Water officially asking the state's Public Service Commission for a rate hike that could go into effect next June. The company says their plan is going to modernize aging water and wastewater systems and total about $1.6 billion. Now, in Joplin, it would fund a new carbon feed system well site treatment upgrades, and filter backwash improvements so that it can maintain consistent water quality and reliable service. Now, again, this still has to be approved by the Missouri PSC, and you will have a chance to give them your thoughts on that proposal. I'm Ty Albright for News Talk KZRG.
The Joplin City Council wants more time before putting new rules on future data centers. Members unanimously voted to send a proposed data center ordinance back to the Planning and Zoning Commission for more work. City staff want to strengthen the proposal after getting public feedback and recommendations from a recent statewide workshop. The ordinance would require special use permits for future data centers and include standards for noise, lighting, water use, air quality, and sustainability. The revised ordinance is expected to return to the council in August. The state budget that the governor signed included almost $500 million in cuts and freezes. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe says lawmakers were planning to spend more money than projected revenue would cover. State Senator Rusty Black agrees and says that things have changed since the state had federal funding to work with after COVID.
Making sure that we saved as much money as we could as the federal government supplied stimulus dollars in many different ways. And the state did partner with several entities throughout the state of Missouri to benefit citizens, benefit projects, upgrade things, and those days are probably over, or at least over for a while.
If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 75, going on 805. News Talk, KZRG. More Joplin construction. Say goodbye to Davis Boulevard as you know it. Work will begin next Monday to move the roadway and connect it with Stevens Boulevard on 32nd Street next to General Mills. This is to make room for a future project to build a bridge over the railroad nearby. The $2.9 million project will also add new traffic signals and a westbound right turn lane at Stevens Boulevard. Full details in the KZRG app. The Missouri Film Office says it's been another big year for movie making. Sue Danielson has the story for News Talk KZRG.
Film Office Director Andrea Sporsic-Klund says last year casting directors hired more than 2,000 Missourians to be extras or work with the crew. She says more commonly they will hire production assistants to help behind the scenes.
The cool thing is that you're in the middle of the action and you really get to see it all happening.
Missouri continues to be in a movie-making boom. The state's film production tax credit generated nearly $41 million of in-state film production spending last year. Sue Danielson, MissouriNet.
Well, the Royals had a lot of hits last night, according to Joe Morgan.
The Kansas City Royals absolutely demolished Philadelphia last night in a 15-1 blowout. Salvador Perez, Luke Maile, Lane Thomas, and Tyler Tolbert all went yard, tagging Phillies ace Christopher Sanchez for a career-worst 9 earned runs. The Royals look to keep those bats hot tonight as they welcome the Mets to town. First pitch is locked in for 6:10. Meanwhile, a late inning collapse for the Cardinals, up by 3 in the 7th. The Redbirds let it slip away as David Hamilton and Bryce Turang sparked a 4-run rally to lift the Brewers to a 4-3 win. The lone bright spot for St. Louis was a sweet hit by Valquez.
One strike on Velasquez. He has an RBI tonight, and he rips that one down the left field line, and it's a fair ball going to the corner.
But they got a quick turnaround to shake this one off. Game 2 with Milwaukee gets underway early today. First pitch is at 1:15. And that will do it for the men's national team. They fell to Belgium in the World Cup 4-1. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news, a service of Liberty Tree Guns. Could you use some extra cash? Liberty Tree Guns, buying guns and gun collections and paying top dollar. Get a cash offer on your guns today at libertytreeguns.com. I'm Steve Scott. Next news is going to be at 8:30. Breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here is your KZRG forecast. Hot and humid weather continues this morning. Maybe some patchy fog this afternoon. Some with a few clouds. 90, you'll feel like the mid-90s. Tonight, clear upper 60s. Sunny and hot, low 90s. Tomorrow, heat index, upper 90s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Weather is a service of Indigo Sky Casino. The area's premier gaming destination is always a good time with delicious chef-created entrees, excellent adult beverages, and fantastic entertainment, too. Visit IndigoSkyCasino.com for details.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. Sunshine 72 in Neosho, 73 in Pittsburgh, 75 in Webb City, 75 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 8:08.
Uh-oh, the power's out. My phone's at 2%.
Everyone, stay calm.
Daniel, you're the only one screaming.
I know. I can't find my flashlight, beef jerky, or emergency storm Crocs.
Dad must have found everything, because now he's in there negotiating with the breaker box. Mom's hiding by the refrigerator trying to keep the cold air from escaping. Your point? We're not losing a single chicken nugget.
Wait, what's that beautiful sound?
The lights are back. The air conditioner is working. The nuggets are saved.
Folks, summer storms around here can knock your power out faster than Jenna can empty the snack cabinet.
Hey!
And the heat can make your house feel hotter than going down the metal slide in elementary school.
That's why IPOC Electric and Solar installs dependable whole home generators so your family stays cool, comfortable, and powered up when storms roll through. No more flashlight scavenger hunts. No more charging your phone in the truck.
Call IPOC Electric and Solar today.
When the power goes out, don't sweat it. Just IPOC it.
IPOC Electric and Solar, keeping your family and business powered through every storm.
Dr. Collins and Associates are Missouri licensed general dentists. They are not licensed in Missouri as specialists in the advertised dental specialty of prosthodontics.
Your smile tells your story. It shows your confidence, joy, and resilience, and it deserves care from a team that understands just how important it is. With 47 years of experience, Mid-America Dental and Hearing Center knows that great dentistry isn't just about procedures. It's about trust, comfort, and results you can be proud of. And they believe high-quality care should never come at a price tag that keeps you away. If you've been waiting for the right time, the right team, or the right place, this is it. Your smile matters. Let's take care of it.
I'm Brian George, CEO of Mid-America Dental and Hearing Center, just off of I-44, Exit 44, and at MidAmericaDental.com. Changing lives and making smiles at dental centers.
Our best for less in a day at Dental Center.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical. But Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
News, weather, politics. Live from the Downstream Casino Resort Studio. News Talk KZRG. Depend on it. From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
8:11 is the current KZRG news time. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Joining us live in Studio 1Z is Sean Conroy. He is the exhibits director for the Spiva Center for the Arts in Joplin, Mo. Sean, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Now, Sean, you are here in Studio 1Z this morning because there are a lot of really, really cool exhibits at the Spiva Center right now. And I want to jump into the big one, and that is Watercolor USA. This is a nationwide situation with its anchor point in Joplin at the Spiva Center. Tell us all about it.
Well, it's been going on since 1962. It's got quite a pedigree. It came from It's been at Springfield Art Museum all this time, but Springfield Art Museum is currently going through a remodel, and so they asked us to host this exhibit, so we host it. So we pick the juror and we, get all the work in and all that. So it is a national competition, and it's very prestigious. It's a big deal for the watercolor artists who get into it. In fact, if you're in it more than a couple of times, you're invited to be part of the Watercolor Honor Society, which is, a big deal as well. There's probably about over 20 states represented in it, and there's almost 100 works of art. And, everybody that comes and sees it, they're always like, I had no idea that watercolor, I think that people think of kind of pastel-y, translucent paint and stuff, but really there's a lot of variety in the world of watercolor. I was surprised myself, to be honest.
So would you say that Watercolor USA is sort of like the Oscars for the watercolor community?
I'm reticent to say that, but it's close. Maybe it's the Emmys.
It's the Emmy. Okay.
there's a few national competitions, but I think this is one of the big ones. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, this is huge, and it's happening in Joplin. It's Sean Conroy, Exhibits Director for the Spiva Center for the Arts here on News Talk KZRG. So with Watercolor USA, Sean, how does it work? Can we go and see these arts currently, or are they going to be put on display at a later date? What's the deal?
Oh, yeah, it's current. In fact, it only has 2 more weeks before it comes down. So people need to come out and see it. And, a lot of people don't know this. They're still intimidated by this big white building on 7th Street. But it's free to come and see it. We're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you haven't come down, you should. And you should bring your kids. They'll love it too. And that's only one of 4 exhibits we have going. So, don't be intimidated. Come and check it out. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. No tuxedos needed. Just come hang out. Pick a weekend day where it's really, really hot. It's air conditioned in there. Check out some art. Totally free. It's Sean Conroy, the Exhibits Director for the Spiva Center of the Arts here on News Talk KZRG. We're sitting at a news time of 8:15. Speaking of the other exhibits on display right now, Sean, I also know that there's a Route 66 exhibit on display in honor, of course, of the Centennial. Tell us about that.
Right. The Route 66 exhibit, there's actually 2 completely different exhibits, but one is called Attractions, Oddities, and Americana. And for those who grew up going down Route 66 or some of the old highway systems, there was a lot of different things that people were doing to attract patrons. A giant ball of string, dinosaurs, teepees that you could stay in at a motel, all these different kind of weird things to try to attract people to your destination. And so that was the emphasis. It was a call for art that we did, and that was the emphasis, was on those oddities and attractions. And the other exhibit that's Route 66 based is VC Tornadin. I cannot say her name correctly. And her pictures are kind of the aftermath of Route 66. Some of these different structures and things as they've kind of started to disappear into the landscape, but
like sort of like a nature reclaiming the land type thing.
Just kind of pictures. A lot of them are pictures of places that are in decline.
I see.
Kind of showing, where Route 66 is at now. It's not a depressing exhibit. It's just, kind of like one exhibit is then and one exhibit is now.
I see. I see. Sort of. That is interesting, the then and now dichotomy there.
Right.
And those are both on display currently.
Yes, those are both on display. One is, multimedia. It's 2D, 3D, all kinds of stuff. And then the other one is photography.
Very cool. It's Sean Conroy, the Exhibits Director for the Spiva Center of the Arts in Joplin, here on News Talk KZRG. News time just before 8:20. And I also know, Sean, that you guys have on display right now a whimsical art display with a bit of a tongue twister name, and I'm not going to do the disservice of trying to pronounce it. What's it called?
Jesse McCormick's World of Freed Fantasies. So yeah, Jesse McCormick is a wonderful local artist. He actually teaches a class at Spiva Center for the Arts for 55 and up, which is also a free class if you are interested in that. But Jesse's work is kind of, yes, whimsical, surrealistic, kind of like talking to Jesse, which is a whimsical, surrealistic experience.
So basically the artist was able to encapsulate him as a person and get it out on the canvas.
Yeah, I would say that is definitely what Jesse's artwork is. I mean, it puts a smile on your face. It's not comedy. It's just childlike, dreamlike, fantasy world kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I saw a little bit on your guys' social media. It's almost like an upbeat Alice in Wonderland-y style-ish, kind of on the whimsical side of things.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of them is called Reddings Mill Bridge, and it's definitely not the Reddings Mill Bridge that we all know. It's more of a Reddings Mill Bridge that might exist in your dreams. So, it's a great exhibit, and all that work is for sale too, and it would make a great addition to your home.
Yeah, no question about it, and it's all on display right now at the Spiva Center for the Arts in Joplin. Totally free for you to check out the art museums and art museum and all the exhibits that are there right now. It's Sean Conroy, the exhibit director with the Spiva Center for the Arts.
I was going to say one thing. We're open the second Sunday of the month from 1 to 5 for people who, want to come and see it on a Sunday. But this Sunday, Jesse is giving an art talk at 2 o'clock. So that would be worth checking out, and that is free as well.
Excellent. So, Sean, if people want to learn more about the Spiva Center for the Arts, all the exhibits you guys have going on and things going on in that area, where can they go?
We have a website, Spiva Center for the Arts, SPIVA. We're also a presence on Facebook and Instagram. So, there you go.
Check them out. And what are the hours, Sean?
10 to 5, Tuesday through Saturday normally, and this Sunday we're open 1 to 5.
Excellent. So be sure to check them out. Sean Conroy, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We'll talk to you again soon, Sean. KZRG News Time, 8:20.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
President Trump arrived at a NATO summit with a bone to pick. The president is expected to talk with our European allies about pulling their weight with the Iran situation. Will our allies answer the call of duty? News Talk KZRG will keep you up to date.
Number 2.
Joplin City Council voted to delay action on a proposed ordinance regulating future data centers. The regulation would require data centers to obtain a special use permit. Their reasoning for delay is they felt that more public feedback could further strengthen the proposal.
Number 1.
Missouri American Water seeking a rate increase tied to a $1.6 billion system overhaul. That means your average house will see an extra $15 added to their monthly bill. What will they use the money for? Replacing aging pipes, upgrading treatment facilities, and modernizing the equipment.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on Missouri's Amendment 5, which would phase out the state income tax and replace it with more sales taxes? We want to know. Leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. You can also text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, a look at technology with Kim Commando on News Talk KZRG.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The ridge building west, and that's going to keep us, I'd say, hot and dry. If anything, we'll get a little bit hotter midweek. We'll go from about 90 degrees today after some patchy fog. This morning we'll have sunshine around. Heat index mid-90s. Near 70 tonight to the low 90s. Tomorrow with sunshine around with a heat index in the upper 90s. And then by Thursday we could push to mid-90s with sunshine and a heat index close to 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Conservative, family man, author of The Bald Plan to Reduce Property Taxes. Listen to Scott Schwab.
Property taxes are killing Kansans, but one day it hit me. BALD.
BALD stands for Better Affordable Living by Decreasing Property Taxes. And it's the only detailed plan. Schwab's Bold Plan means voter approval for property tax hikes, refunds for unfair assessments, and tax relief for seniors and working families. Listen to Scott Schwab.
I'm focused on reducing taxes for Kansans. You should keep more. My Bold Plan makes sure of it. When I'm governor, we'll get it done.
Finally, a governor with a good head on his shoulders. Author of the Bold Plan to decrease property taxes, conservative Republican Scott Schwab for governor. Visit Scott.
Good morning, everybody. Eric, good morning, sir. Sean Connery. Sean Connery. Your aunt. Your mother's. Gotta love a little whimsy. Nothing wrong with a little whimsy. Hey! Rick Fresh. Rick Ford. Can't make a prince from a frog. Who told you that? Boo. Boo, Rick. Boo. It was pretty funny. Ooh.
I plan on doing Trump Walmart.
Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Would you pay $60 to stop looking at your own phone? Millions are doing just that. I'm Kim Commando for ExpressVPN. With one click, ExpressVPN keeps your online activity private and secure. Get 4 extra months at expressvpn.com/Kim. So here's the gadget everyone's buying. It's called the Brick, a little 2-inch cube that locks up Instagram, TikTok, all your time wasters. The only way back in? Tap your phone on the cube. It's clever, except your phone already does this for free. On an iPhone, go to Settings, then App Limits. On Android, open Digital Wellbeing. Set a 1-hour cap on TikTok and it slams the door shut. Still can't stop scrolling? Go nuclear. Delete the apps. Revolutionary, I know. Or here's my favorite. Trade your smartphone for a flip phone. $20 at Walmart. Calls and texts only. 0 doom scrolling. And snapping it shut after a call? That's satisfying. A $60 cube to fix a bad habit. That's one idea that hits you like a ton of, well, you know. Get my free newsletter at getkim.com. AI is changing the world, and there's no question it's making technology smarter, but it's also making it easier than ever for companies to learn more about you through your online activity. Websites you visit, searches you run, and apps you use can reveal more about you than you realize. That's just one reason I use ExpressVPN. It encrypts my internet connection to help keep my personal information more secure online. Whether I'm checking email or shopping online, I know ExpressVPN is quietly working in the background. I also like how super easy it is to use. Really, one tap on my phone, laptop, desktop, or tablet, and I'm connected. Plus, one subscription now covers up to 14 devices at once. That's enough to protect your entire household. Best of all, it comes with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. So take your online privacy seriously with ExpressVPN. Right now, get 4 extra months by going to expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, expressvpn.com/Kim.
Clay Travis here and Buck Sexton. Make your day better and come hang with us from 11 to 2 p.m. right here on News Talk KZRG.
We talk news, politics, sports, and also some fun culture stuff too.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
It's going to be sunny today and seasonably warm. The high should be around 90. Then the sunshine and hot starts up again tomorrow. Sunny and hot with a high of 93. Sunny and hotter on Thursday, 97 for the high. 93 with sunshine and hot again on Friday. Now, we do have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms. That'll be happening starting Friday night, Saturday, and Saturday night. We're going to keep an eye on it, and that's all according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Keep it here on News Talk KZRG. We will keep you up to date.
Yes, we will. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG, 75 in Joplin, 77 in Pittsburgh, 77 in Miami, 75 in Neosho. A lot going on in the 4 states today, as there always is. For instance, there is that road construction that kicked off just yesterday at the intersection of West 20th Street in Joplin and Central City Road, because crews are going to be working on a new roundabout. So that has kicked off. That closure to through traffic will be in place as they continue to build this thing, which, by the way, will happen over the course of the next 2 months.
Yep.
Is how long they think it'll be taking. In addition to that, a project to relocate Davis Boulevard at 32nd Street in Joplin is also scheduled to begin next week. And basically, they're going to take the road and push it somewhere else.
About a block or two to the east.
Yeah. Somebody one day, they went out and went, I just hate how tacky this road is. Let's put it over there.
They are doing it just because they're going to put in a bridge over the railroad tracks.
Yeah, no. They're moving the road for a valid reason, and that is people got tired of the Canadian Pacific Kansas Railroad running through the middle of 32nd Street and causing traffic and, becoming a huge headache. So they said, hey, why don't we just put a bridge over it? That way the train goes over the bridge, over 32nd Street, and, cars don't have to worry about it. Unfortunately, there was a road that was in the way. So they decided, well, let's just move the road, clear the space, and then we can build the bridge. So it looks like that's what's going on.
Yep.
Now, that construction is going to be taking place starting next week, and they are hoping to get it done by early December of this year.
That would be good.
That would be great. It would be even better if even sooner. But I get it. Rome wasn't built in a day, nor were roads. So there's that. But anyway, details on that road work can be found at newstalkkzrg.com. Hey, coming up after the news in less than 10 minutes at around 8:40, we have a couple of stories for you here this morning, one of which has to do with a rate hike, how suddenly you could start getting charged a little bit more money for a service that already exists and you've already been utilizing. In fact, we're going to learn a little bit about that in this newscast in about 5 minutes here. We'll go into more detail afterwards as well. In addition to that, how the mighty have fallen. A Democrat hopeful in a major Senate race that could decide the fate of future Trump administration efforts. He looks like he might be dropping out of the race pretty soon.
You mean he might be pulling a Biden?
Might be pulling a Biden.
Oh.
We'll explain what we mean coming up in less than 10 minutes. On FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG.
At 8:30, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG.
The Smithsonian under fire.
Trump and Walmart
seeking penalties for Meta.
No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. We're heading for a high of 90 with lots of sunshine. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic. Following sports, that'll be at 8:38. Sunshine, it's 72 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 75 in Galena, 75 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk, KZRG.
The leadership of a major cultural institution coming under fire by the Trump administration.
The White House stepping up its efforts to force changes at Washington's prominent cultural and historical institutions. In a report released on Independence Day branding the leadership of the Smithsonian Institution, especially the National Museum of American History, as radical activists who are untrustworthy. This signals the president's potential move to appoint his own team and comes months after he revealed his intention to push through changes with an executive order that the AP says targets funding for programs programs advancing culture he deems too liberal. The Organization of American Historians blasting the report as a partisan ideological attack in the guise of historical critique. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Walmart says it's dropping prices on groceries and other goods. President Trump says he's the reason why.
President Trump says Walmart is lowering prices on things like ground beef at his administration's request to celebrate the country's 250th birthday. In a social media post, the president encouraged Americans to shop at Walmart. In its own announcement, the retailer confirmed the price drops, but did not mention President Trump or the administration, writing instead the price rollbacks are designed to help customers and members make the most of summer. The statement says price cuts include ground beef, corn, red cherries, ice cream, potato chips, and soda. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
4 states are in court seeking more than $1 trillion in penalties from Facebook and Instagram's parent company, Meta.
Meta Platforms says California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey are seeking $1.4 trillion in penalties over claims that the company designed Facebook and Instagram to be addictive to children. The social media giant also says the states accuse Meta of withholding information from the public about the harms the apps pose to young users. An August trial is set in California over claims brought by the 4 states. Meta says the penalty the states are seeking is close to the company's market capitalization of around $1.5 trillion and that the amount is unsupported by the evidence. 29 states have sued Meta in federal court, most alleging violations of the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Sunshine 75, 834 News Talk, KZRG.
An extra $15 per month out of your bank account.
Now, Missouri American Water officially asking the state's Public Service Commission for a rate hike that could go into effect next June. The company says their plan is going to modernize aging water and wastewater systems and total about $1.6 billion. Now, in Joplin, it would fund a new carbon feed system, well site treatment upgrades, and filter backwash improvements so that it can maintain consistent water quality and reliable service. Now, again, this still has to be approved by the Missouri PSC, and you will have a chance to give them your thoughts on that proposal. I'm Ty Albright for News Talk KZRG.
Help from the federal government is on the way. President Trump ended up approving a federal disaster declaration for Cherokee County, Kansas, from the storms that we saw on the night of Sunday, April 26th. That was the EF1 tornado that touched down west of Columbus along Highway 160, and the storms that brought torrential rainfall to that part of the country, or that county. This allows state and local level governments to apply for public assistance for cost of damage repair. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunshine 75, 835, News Talk KZRG.
President Trump won't sign a bipartisan bill aimed at making housing more affordable. But Missouri U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt was one of the 85 senators who voted for the bill.
I think one of the provisions in there that I was very supportive of was to make sure these hedge funds and private equity guys stop buying up single-family homes.
However, if the president doesn't take any action at all, the legislation will automatically become law without his signature on Friday.
After a huge album release in January, country singer Zach Bryan has more music on the way.
If you could just go back.
Zach Bryan shared a teaser of an unreleased song called Lodi Wen, a nod to the small city in Northern California. The tease, which dropped on YouTube Friday, also revealed he has a new EP on the way. Bryan posted the news underneath the video, noting the song is off the new EP, Young Manhood and Other Donatable Organs. Earlier this year, Bryan dropped his long-awaited 6th studio album with Heaven on Top, along with a full-length acoustic version of the record. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Boy, were the Royals on fire last night, according to Joe Morgan.
The Kansas City Royals absolutely demolished Philadelphia last night in a 15-1 blowout. Salvador Perez, Luke Maile, Lane Thomas, and Tyler Tolbert all went yard, tagging Phillies ace Christopher Sanchez for a career-worst 9 earned runs. The Royals look to keep those bats hot tonight as they welcome the Mets to town. First pitch is locked in for 6:10. Meanwhile, a late inning collapse for the Cardinals, up by 3 in the 7th. The Redbirds let it slip away as David Hamilton and Bryce Turang sparked a 4-run rally to lift the Brewers to a 4-3 win. The lone bright spot for St. Louis was a sweet hit by Valquez.
One strike on Velasquez. He has an RBI tonight, and he rips that one down the left field line, and it's a fair ball going to the corner.
But they got a quick turnaround to shake this one off. Game 2 with Milwaukee gets underway early today. First pitch is at 1:15. And that will do it for the men's national team. They fell to Belgium in the World Cup 4-1. Sports is brought to you by Hickman Lawn and Landscape. For professional lawn and landscape solutions in Webb City and Joplin, choose the experts at Hickman Lawn and Landscape. Visit hickmanlawns.com. And that's a look at sports. I'm Joe Morgan for News Talk KZRG.
Your news, the service of Liberty Tree Guns. Could you use some extra cash? Liberty Tree Guns, buying guns and gun collections and paying top dollar. Get a cash offer on your guns today at libertytreeguns.com. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news, 9 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The ridge building west, and that's going to keep us, I'd say, hot and dry. If anything, we'll get a little bit hotter midweek. We'll go from about 90 degrees today after some patchy fog. This morning we'll have sunshine around. Heat index mid-90s. Here's 70 tonight to the low 90s. Tomorrow with sunshine around with a heat index in the upper 90s. And then by Thursday we could push to mid-90s with sunshine and a heat index close to 100. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the KZRG Storm Center.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 72 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh. It is 75 in Carl Junction, 75 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time, 8:39.
This summer, one backyard had everything. Burgers on the grill, kids running through sprinklers, fire pit glowing. Until the mosquitoes arrived. Suddenly, everyone's swatting. The dog won't stop scratching. The cookout moved inside. Fire pit abandoned. It was the summer that should have been. Until one family fought back and called Bug Away Pest Control.
Hey, it's Doug and Rory from Bug Away Pest Control. Don't let backyard pests cancel your summer plans. Let Bug Away Pest Control use powerful, pet-friendly treatments to treat your yard and stop those pests from returning. We are the only place you can get Doug and Rory's pest-free guarantee. Swim, barbecue, and enjoy your backyard this summer without the fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes. Remember, if you don't see our logo, it's a no-go. Learn how we can help with your pest problems at bugawaypc.com. We do exactly what we say. We keep the bugs away.
Customer satisfaction is our #1 goal at Bug Away Pest Control.
I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental of Joplin. There aren't any dentists around here that are open consistently on Saturday or Friday for that matter. So I saw a need. I grew up blue collar. Sometimes you can't waste some PTO or vacation day on going to the dentist. You get a lot of grateful people, a lot of grateful families that can actually get their work done on Saturday or Friday. And these girls have bought into that vision. When I bought the practice, I named the practice Team Dental of Joplin. I understand that no large undertaking is done alone. It has to be done with an amazing team. I really feel like they're the hardest working staff in all 4 states because we're all sacrificing time from our families to help our community out. It means something to me. It means something to them. I'm Dr. Lemus from Team Dental of Joplin, where we specialize in dentistry that fits your schedule.
Team Dental of Joplin, your neighborhood practice for your whole family.
Hey, want a free checking account from Community Bank and Trust?
Free? Yeah, right. What's the catch?
Well, there's no catch.
There is always a catch. I bet there's a minimum balance requirement.
Nope, their absolutely free checking account is free from minimum balance requirements.
Okay, then I bet there's a monthly service charge.
Actually, there's not. Their absolutely free checking is free from a monthly service charge.
So when you say free, you mean?
Free, gratis, countless, liberated.
Wow, free. so I could check my balance, pay bills, use my debit card, and bank from my phone?
Without paying a monthly fee.
Now that's my kind of free.
Absolutely free checking, the account that gives you all the features you need for zero monthly fees from Community Bank and Trust. Get started at one of the local employee-owned CBT locations today or at cbthomebank.com. Community Bank and Trust, where trust is so important, it's in our name. Other fees such as NSF, overdraft, sustained overdraft fees, etc. may apply. See fee schedule for details. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 580491.
And now it's time to Ask the Attorney with Webster and Carlton on News Talk KZRG.
Tom Carlton here in Studio 1Z. He's with the law firm of Webster and Carlton. They specialize in workers' comp. They got a location at 602 South Wall in Joplin and one in Springfield as well. Tom, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tom, I wanted to talk to you this morning. I know a lot of people can sometimes get confused the difference between a workers' comp claim and a personal injury case. Can you walk us through that difference?
Sure. Well, if you've been injured on the job, it's a workers' compensation claim. Now, that can get vague, I understand, again, if you're maybe in a vehicle on the way to work. But sometimes even that is covered if driving is part of your job. So again, that's a good question to ask an attorney. But for instance, if you're in an automobile accident on a Saturday and that has nothing to do with your work, that's a personal injury case, okay? And it has nothing to do with your work. But if you've been injured in any capacity that's related to work, then what you need to bring is a workers' compensation claim. And in the state of Missouri, it's really, if you've been injured on the job, workers' compensation is what is considered your exclusive remedy. Now that can't, meaning that's what you have to pursue. You can't pursue a personal injury case.
Oh, it's binary, one or the other.
Well, it can be both. Okay. For an example, if someone is driving a vehicle and that is part of their job, and they get in an injury or they get in an accident, then they potentially have a workers' compensation case, and there could be a third party case against the driver who hit them. So it's not necessarily one or the other. But I mean, if you have an injury, let's say you're working at a factory and you bend over to lift something and you hurt your back, okay? Your only remedy is to pursue, meaning your only course of action is to pursue a workers' compensation case. That would not be a personal injury.
I see. Because it happened on the ground and within the purview of the job.
Correct.
Okay. So if I were to call you, Tom Carlton, at Webster and Carlton at 417-781-5690 and seek your counsel, what would the intake process for me look like?
Sure. Well, a lot of times people will call and they want to talk with an attorney over the phone before they make an appointment to come in, and that's understandable. So a lot of times my partner Matt and I, we will take their call and we'll sort of talk with them about the issues first, just to make them feel comfortable. But then usually what we have is we will want to meet with them in person. So they'll come in they'll make an appointment, come into our office and fill out a questionnaire. And then we meet with them after that questionnaire and go over it with them and discuss all of the sort of ins and outs of the system. So, but again, the best way to do it is pick up the phone, give us a call, and we'll be glad to talk with you initially, and then, then have you come in and meet personally.
Yeah, and that number to call is 417-781-5690 or pop into their Joplin office at 602 South Wall. Tom, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
That was KZRG's Ask the Attorney with Webster and Carlton on News Talk KZRG.
The world moves fast, so tune in to me, Mark Levin, every weekday starting at 5 on News Talk KZRG for the latest news, politics, and commentary. You won't want to miss it.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk KZRG.
8:45 is the KZRG News Time. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Ted Bohorquez.
And Steve Scott. Going to be sunny and seasonably warm today. They're not calling it hot, just seasonably warm. High today of 90 with sunshine. Then tonight mostly clear down to 69. Tomorrow sunny and hot with a high of 93. 74 mostly clear tomorrow night. And then on Thursday, sunny, very hot, 97 for the actual high. Friday, sunny and hot, 93 for the high. In fact, on Thursday and Friday, the heat index or the real field temperature could be topping out around 100. So
100?
Get ready that's according to KZRG meteorologist Ray Stajic, that could feel like 100 degrees or maybe plus or minus a degree.
100. All right. News Talk KZRG will keep you up to date on that heat. Well, How would you, as a consumer, like to pay $15 extra per month for the exact same product? Boy, howdy, do I have the company for you.
Oh, yes, and they just bought another water district just out of Neosho.
Missouri American Water is asking regulators for a significant rate increase tied to a $1.6 billion system overhaul. They're calling it a full system overhaul. Now, what does this mean practically? Well, that means for the average household, that means $15 extra per month per household. Obviously, that is dependent on your usage, but if you were to average it out, about $15 extra a month.
Now, I have a big question.
Mm-hmm.
So when this $1.6 billion system is paid for, do they then lower the rates by $15 average household per month?
Or
do they never pay for it completely?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked. Unfortunately, and this is true, I left my crystal ball at home, so I can't give you the answer off the top. But if I were a betting man, I would say no.
Well, this even goes not just for a water company, but for like a electric company, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Because they keep asking for rate hikes, but then they never, quote unquote, get the money paid off.
Yeah.
It's
so
amazing. Well, actually, they might, and then just say, hey, we'll just keep it as a profit.
Right, exactly. Because you know what? I'm going to be honest. I think they utilize our human being short-term memory. We as humans, we have so many things in the modern world to keep track of. State politics, local politics, national politics, global politics, your kid's birthday, your friend's birthdays.
Amendments we're voting on.
You got to keep track of your bills. You got to keep track of what your mother-in-law said last week. You got to keep track of who's mad at who about what. There's so many things to keep track of. I think these companies take advantage of it. In that, they do a rate hike like this, and they say it's temporary, and then by the time 5, 6, 7 years down the road that it's supposed to be paid off, we all forget about it. And then there's not a whole lot of scrutiny about it. That happens all the time, and I think these companies know that, which is why they do it over such a long period of time.
I think the Missouri Public Service Commission needs to put a sunset date on all these rate hikes.
I think that's a great idea.
That way they have to review it again to see if it's paid off.
Mm-hmm. That's not a bad idea at all. Now, of course, the question is, well, what are they going to be using this money for?
Well, that's true. It could be being used for a very good cause.
Such as replacing aging pipes, upgrading treatment facilities, and modernizing critical equipment. That's what they said the money's going to go for. Does that ring a bell to anybody? It kind of sounds like that's what every utility company in the history of utility companies always says.
Yeah.
They say that all the time, whether it's an electric company or a water company. Well, we have aging infrastructure. Well, we got to upgrade. Well, we got to... It's always that. I've never once seen or heard specifics from them unless we make them tell us and it's basically pulling teeth with these companies.
Oh, by far.
Very frustrating. So, what are your thoughts on that? We want to know. Leave us an open mic message or text us at 417-782-1310. Really very quickly, a very quick synopsis because we're up against the clock here. There is a Democrat, there's a Senate race in Maine. It's Democrat versus Republican. The person that's running as a Democrat for this seat is Graham Plattner, and he was being hailed as a hero by the likes of Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and all the big names. And it came out just yesterday that his ex-girlfriend is accusing him, and there's no easy way to put this, of rape. She is accusing him of rape. And suddenly, all of these Democrats that had gone on and on about how we need to vote for this guy, you got to vote for this guy, suddenly they are all publicly pulling their support for him. Which, good. I will say this. Credit where credit's due. At the very least, at least the Democrats didn't keep on being like, no, that's fine, he's a good guy. At the very least, we found what their line is, and the line apparently is rape. Barring that, shy of that, the Democrats will support anyone, it seems like.
Well, and earlier they had talked about sexual allegations that had happened, but it was not rape, and they just kept supporting it.
And that's the thing. There were allegations up the wazoo of this guy for sexual harassment, sexual misconduct, and they were willing to look past that.
They were looking past the Nazi tattoo on his chest.
He has a literal Nazi tattoo on his chest. They didn't see an issue with that. That's insane. That is insane. Meanwhile, they're calling Trump and J.D. Vance Nazis and ICE Nazis. And meanwhile, the dude that they're supporting literally has an actual Nazi tattoo on his chest. It's nuts. But finally, we found that there is a bottom to the depths that the Democrats are willing to stoop, and it is rape allegations.
Now, if he steps down from the election by next Monday, is there only 107 days left until the actual election for the replacement?
What do you mean?
Well, when Joe Biden stepped down,
Or
Kamala
is this,
Harris had 107 days to campaign.
Yeah, I don't know the day count, but I'm willing to bet he's probably going to write a book about it and call it a.
Oh, I'm sure he will. At least he can remember it.
KZRG News Time, 8:51.
And now, KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
President Trump arrived at a NATO summit with a bone to pick. The president expected to talk with our European allies about pulling their weight with the Iran situation. Will our allies answer the call of duty? News Talk KZRG will keep you up to date.
Number 2.
The Joplin City Council voted to delay action on a proposed ordinance regulating future data centers. The regulation would require data centers to obtain a special use permit. Their reasoning for delay is they felt more public feedback could further strengthen the proposal.
Number 1.
Missouri American Water seeking a rate increase tied to a $1.6 billion system overhaul. That means your average house will see an extra $15 added to their monthly bill. What will they use the money for? Replacing aging pipes, upgrading treatment facilities, and even modernizing equipment. Wow.
Now, the KZRG question of the day.
What are your thoughts on Missouri's Amendment 5, which would phase out the state income tax and replace it with more sales taxes? We want to know. Leave us an open mic message or text us at 417-782-1310. You can also leave us a message on the KZRG app. Totally free to download on the App Store. Coming up, Chris Plant in less than 10 minutes on FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's News Talk KZRG. Good morning.
Here's your KZRG forecast. The ridge building west, and that's going to keep us, I'd say, high.
Hey, thanks for hanging out, everybody.